I have survived 500 days in Fusion Pixelmon. And for today, I'm going to be putting all of them into a compilation for you guys so you can watch an entire movie of 500 days in Fusion Pokemon, showcasing so many OP and amazing looking Fusion Pokemon. So sit back, relax, and enjoy 500 days in Minecraft's Fusion Pixelmon. In this video, I'm going to be spending 100 days in Minecraft Pixelmon, but I can only use custom Fusion Pokemon. Let's get into this. So, on day 1, I loaded into the SMASHMC Server. I picked out my starter Squirtle, and as you can see, he's shiny. I then headed around and opened up a bunch of presents for the Christmas event, where I managed to open up a Rare Crate, a Megastone Crate, an Aura Crate, and even a 50-50 shiny crate. Unfortunately though, getting a shiny Pelipper didn't help me, as it didn't help to any of my fusions for the rest of this 100 days. I then headed through and opened up a bunch of lucky blocks as well, until eventually I got an Ultra Ball lucky block, where I got myself a Ho-Oh. There's no way! I had just got a Ho-Oh! Oh my god! After that, I headed into the new boss tower, where I leveled up my Ho-Oh and got a bunch of boss drops. Eventually with that, I got myself an Orb and a Firestone, which I'd be able to use to get myself a Moltres later down the line. After that, I then headed over to the level grinder, as I wanted to evolve my starter Pokemon Squirtle all the way up into a Blastoise. I then headed out and went exploring on Ho-Oh until eventually I managed to find myself an Ultra Space Wormhole. So I headed on inside and found myself a raid den. After heading into the raid den, I used my new level 100 Ho-Oh, and it was super OP. I managed to defeat all the raid dens pretty much in like 2 hits. It was pretty crazy. I was looking for some pretty good loot, but unfortunately I didn't get much from these. I then moved on where I managed to find myself a Gible, which is one of the Pokemon I would need to create a fusion later on. I then found myself a Riolu, which I ended up catching. Hey, let's go. I then stumbled across a dark oak forest biome. I needed to find this biome because there was a certain legendary I wanted to get, which was the mythical Pokemon Darkrai. Unfortunately though, he only spawns on certain moons, so I had to wait quite a while for him to spawn. Whilst finding a place for me to live, me and my rival Hawk were traveling around in the ocean biome where we stumbled across the legendary Pokemon Kyogre. It was so lucky that it spawned, as it needs to be in the rain and in a deep ocean, so we got pretty lucky with this one. Luckily though, I eventually caught it in an Ultra Ball. Now that I'd caught the Kyogre, I now had both the Pokemon I needed to create my first fusion Pokemon. Although, since my Blastoise was shiny, I was going to need a shiny Kyogre as well to fuse them together to create a shiny fusion. So I opened a legendary crate where I managed to get a legendary shiny convert. So I pulled out my Kyogre and then I used the shiny convert on him to turn him into a giant pink whale. Now that I had both the Pokemon I needed, I headed to the fusion chamber and combined Blastoise and Kyogre to get Blastogre. He was so cool. And I finally now had my first fusion Pokemon. I then headed up to the move relearner and learned the signature move that every fusion gets at level 100. For Blastogre, it's Vortex Blast. Basically, this is a really cool move with 100 power and 90 accuracy, which is super powerful for a water type like Blastogre. Every single fusion has a custom move as well, meaning that I'm going to find loads of new custom moves throughout this 100 days. I then spent a little bit of time creating my house. I didn't want to show all of this because it's pretty boring and it's just a bunch of tedious building. I spent so many days, I had to defeat so many Pokemon just to get all the materials for this. And I had to buy a bunch, meaning I had to go to the boss tower, grind up a bunch of money just to get all the materials for the house. But I was pretty happy with how it turned out, and I had a nice little home to call my own now. I then headed back to the boss tower where I evolved my Gible into a Gabite, and then also my Riolu into a Lucario. After that, I headed over to the level grinder to get some proper levels and got my Gabite into a Garchomp. Now that I had a full team of level 100s, I decided it would be a cool idea to check out the War Zone. Essentially, how the War Zone works is it's a little custom area that has been built, and all that happens in there is there's a bunch of high-level Pokemon that spawn with a bunch of legendaries that can potentially spawn quite often. Only catch is, when you're in the War Zone, there's a chance for another player to battle you, which is bad. Because if another player battles you in the War Zone, if they defeat you, they get a chance to steal one of your Pokemon. So if you go in with legendaries, you could potentially lose that legendary. So it's a very risky idea. So I read through all of the rules for the Warzone just to make sure I wasn't breaking any rules, which you guys should also do too. And then I headed into the Warzone. I then had a Galarian Moltres spawn on me, which is crazy as that was the one I was collecting with my orb, meaning I wouldn't even have to fully do my orb anymore as I had a Galarian Moltres spawn. After catching it though, it was crazy because another Galarian Moltres spawned on me, which is absolutely insane. I could not believe it. After that, now that I have my Lucario and my Galarian Moltres, I headed out of the Warzone and headed over to the Fusion Chambers. I then put my Lucario in and the Galarian Moltres, and I waited for it to fuse together to create Lucatres, which is so cool. Make sure if you guys like the fusions to let me know in the comments what your favorite fusion Pokemon is. I then headed over to the Warp EVs as I wanted to train my Lucatres to be the most powerful version of himself that he could possibly be. So I completed all of his EV training and then headed through to the end to catch my next Pokemon to make a new fusion. This Pokemon was Absol. After I found the Absol, I was pretty happy, although they are pretty common in the end, so it wasn't too difficult for me to find. After catching it though, I headed back and then ended up finding a Mega Boss Absol. Luckily, the power of Blast Ogre was just too much for it, and I ended up defeating it, getting myself a little bit of money, a Deep Sea Scale, an Absolite, and a Rare Candy. I then also got the choice of a Mega Stone, so I picked the Mega Ring. I then ended up exploring in a river biome looking for a legendary, where I came across a shiny Magikarp. This was absolutely hilarious, but it was also really good because I'd be able to use this Pokemon to potentially make a fusion if I could find a certain legendary. I then headed back to the legendary crate, where I ended up getting myself a specific legendary claim, which meant that I'd be able to get another legendary Pokemon that I'd be able to use as a fusion. I decided to go with Darkrai as he was the hardest Pokemon that I wanted to find to get. So I decided to pick out my Darkrai and he looked amazing. Shiny Darkrai was insane as he's my favorite mythical Pokemon. I then headed into the birch forest nearby and searched for days looking for a Routes. Eventually though, I finally found the Routes I was looking for, which was the shiny blue Routes. And now that I had it, I had 2 more shiny Pokemon that I could fuse together. So I headed back to the level grinder and evolved my Routes up into a Curlier. After that, I then continued in a level grinder until eventually my Curlier then evolved into a Gardevoir. Now that I had my 2 Pokemon I would need, I headed back to the fusion chambers and combined Gardevoir with Darkrai, creating myself the shiny Gardevoir. And boy, did shiny Gardevoir look insane. I was so happy with how it looked. Honestly, this has to be one of my favorite fusion Pokemons. I then ended up just RTBing for a bunch of days, trying to get the correct biome that I needed. But eventually, after just getting all of these rubbish biomes that I did not need, I just headed into the EV training area, as I wanted to get my Gardevoir all EV trained up so that it would have the perfect stats to be as strong as possible. I then headed back to the level grinder as usual and leveled up Gardevoir all the way to level 100. Now that I finally had 3 different fusion Pokemon, we were halfway there to getting an entire team of legendary fusion Pokemon. I was super excited with how cool all 3 of these looked so far. I then found the correct biome I was looking for, which was a Mesa biome. I then explored for a little while and thought I found what I needed, but it ended up just being a Mega Boss Metagross, which is still really cool, and I decided I wanted to try and take it on. Unfortunately though, a lot of my team weren't strong enough to take it, but eventually we managed to whittle it down and defeat the Mega Metagross boss. I then continued exploring for another couple days until eventually I finally found the Pokemon that I was looking for. This was a Bagon. And the reason I wanted this wasn't because it was an original plan of mine to get a fusion of a Bagon, but because I caught the Ho-Oh earlier on in the 100 days that was from a Lucky Block, I decided that I would want to fuse the Ho-Oh too and not waste it. So the only thing I can fuse with a Ho-Oh is a Salamence. So I had to get this Bagon and train him up to evolve into a Salamence. I headed through to the level grinder as it was the fastest way to get my Bagon to evolve up into Salamence. I eventually managed to get my Bagon to evolve into a Shelgon, and then from a Shelgon all the way up into a Salamence. I was super happy now that I had a Salamence because I was able to now fuse it with the Ho-Oh. So as usual, I headed to the fusion machine, I put in Salamence and I put in Ho-Oh. I then entered the fusion key and I was super happy to now have the 4th member of my team, Sacred Mence. and he looked so cool. I'm so excited to use all these fusions and share them with you guys, because they are amazing. I'm super excited to do more 100 days on this, so that I can show you so many more fusion Pokemon. I then decided to go mining for a little bit, as there was one other Pokemon that I wanted to get, but unfortunately the only way to get it was by mining up a bunch of minerals and then smelting them all up in furnaces with a really small chance that you'll even get the Pokemon to spawn. So I grabbed up as much as I possibly could and then went outside and placed down a bunch of furnaces with loads of coal, loads of iron, loads of copper, and loads of bauxite ore, as I needed to get as much as I possibly could. And as you can see, I filled up so many furnaces. Eventually, after smelting stacks and stacks of iron and aluminium, I finally managed to get the Meltan to spawn. I was so excited that I now had a Meltan. Eventually, I finally managed to catch the Meltan, but then realized that I had to do it all over again. Because in order to evolve a Meltan, you need to smelt 400 ores while it's in your inventory just to get him to evolve. So eventually, I finally managed to evolve my Meltan into a Melmetal. I was super excited now that I had this guy, as he was definitely the hardest one to get so far in this 100 days. I then traveled in the Nether for a little while, until eventually I finally found the Pokemon I wanted to fuse with Melmetal, which was a Marshadow. I absolutely love Marshadow and is one of my favorite Pokemon. Make sure you guys comment down below what your favorite Pokemon is as well. And if you are enjoying the video, make sure to like and hit that sub button. And talking about fusions, I've now headed back to the fusion machine to create my next fusion. So I put in Melmetal and I added Marshadow. I then put the fusion key in to create myself Marshmetal. He looked so cool. I was super happy with this fusion. So I headed back to the EV training area to EV train my Marshmetal as much as I could to make him as good as possible. After completing all of his stats, I then headed back to the level grinder to get my Marshmetal to level 100, getting me my 5th fusion Pokemon for this 100 days. Now that I had 5 fusion Pokemon, I figured I'd be ready to take on some of the gyms. So I headed into the first gym. Luckily, as I had a very powerful fusion team, I managed to defeat this gym pretty easily, getting me my first gym badge. I then headed over to the second gym, and after entering in, luckily I had Gardevoir, which swept the gym, getting me my second gym badge. I then made my way into the third gym and decided to take it on once again. This time it was a little bit more difficult with the dragon Pokemon, but my team took it on pretty well, and once again Gardevoir came through as MVP and destroyed the entire gym, getting me my third gym badge. After heading into the fourth gym, I unfortunately ended up getting defeated, meaning I'd have to wait a couple days before I could head back and challenge the gym. So I headed home, where I ended up encountering a boss Ampharos. This thing was pretty difficult to defeat, as my Pokemon weren't too strong against the Ampharos, but luckily with the power of all of my fusion Pokemon, I managed to take it out pretty quickly. I then headed into quite a large area in a river biome, and decided to cover the entire place with dirt, as there was one Pokemon in particular that I needed to spawn to be my 6th and final fusion. I already had the Absol. All I would need now is the last Pokemon. If you know what it is, make sure you comment down below to tell me what you think the fusion Pokemon is gonna be. After nothing spawned though, I decided that I'd head out a little bit longer and just go and explore for a little while, where I ended up encountering this Beautifly raid den. But luckily Sacred Ments absolutely destroyed it, getting me some pretty good loot in the process. I then headed back over to the river, where I decided to AFK a little bit longer, hoping that the Pokemon would spawn, and luckily, to my surprise, the Keldeo spawned. If any of you commented Keldeo down in the description, well done, because you got it right. After catching the Keldeo, there was 2 fusions I could try and make, but I wanted Absoldio, the Absol and the Keldeo fusion. So I put them both into the fusion machine and created Absoldio. Such a clean fusion. I really love this one. So as usual, I headed over to the level grinder and leveled up Absoldio all the way up to level 100. After that, I headed into the EV area and trained up my Absoldio to have the perfect stats with all of the EV training I had completed. Now that I was done with this, I had a full team of 6 fusion Pokemon, all EV trained and leveled up to level 100. I then decided to have a little battle with my rival Hawk, where I ended up sweeping him with just Blast Ogre. It was such an easy fight. But my rival wasn't having it, so he decided he wanted another battle. So again, I started with my Blastogre and ended up destroying him once again. These fusion Pokemon were too strong. So I left that battle and headed over to the 4th gym again, trying to defeat the ground gym. But with my newfound Absoldio, I managed to get the edge on the gym leader, defeating it, getting me my 4th gym badge. After that, I headed into the next gym, where I ended up defeating it again, getting me my 5th gym badge. I then just decided to continue defeating the gyms, where I managed to get my next gym badge, which was the Poison gym badge. I then continued on, where I ended up taking out the Steel gym as well, with Gardevoir absolutely sweeping the team once again. Finally, I had to take on the Thunder gym, where I ended up defeating the Electric-type Pokemon and getting me my 8th and final gym badge. Now, there was only one more thing for me to do in this 100 days, which was head back to the War Zone. So me and Hawk decided to head into the War Zone, where we had the Ultra Beast Nihilego spawn on us, which was super cool, but unfortunately there wasn't any fusions with it right now, so I decided to catch it just in case I ever did a 200 days, and this might come in handy. My rival Hawk then encountered another player, which ended up battling him, which was super scary. But luckily for me, I wasn't in a battle, and I ended up finding a legendary Reshiram. After catching this, I had a little look and realized there was one more fusion Pokemon that I could create to kickstart the next 200 days if you guys wanted to see it. So now that I caught myself a Reshiram, I headed out and found myself a Savannah biome, which is the biome I was going to need to find myself a Shinx. For this fusion, I wanted to create Luxray and Reshiram. So I caught the Shinx and then headed straight over to the level grinder to level it up to get to a Luxray. First, my Shinx evolved into a Luxio, and then finally a Luxio up into a Luxray. I then headed back over to the fusion chambers and checked out all of the custom fusion Pokemon that I didn't even use in this 100 days. So if you guys want to see me use or create any more of these fusions, make sure to comment down below letting me know if you want a 200 days. So I headed over to the fusion machine and created Reshiram and Luxray, making the legendary fusion Reshiram. This one had to be one of my favorite fusions. It looked so cool, and it was one of the brand new fusions. Shout out to SMASHMC for letting me use all these fusions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. After my previous 100 days, all of the comment section was full of 200 days. Everyone wanted 200 days of Minecraft Pixelmon fusions. So in this video, I'm going to be spending another 100 days in Minecraft Pixelmon using only fusion Pokemon. So when I loaded back into the server, I had one thing to do before I started anything, and that was to drop off my entire team from the first 100 days and begin my quest to find more Pokemon to fuse together to create my new team for this 200 days. So I decided to head out to a forest biome, as there was one Pokemon in particular I wanted to use as my starter for this 200 days. And that, of course, was Bulbasaur. Now, for this Bulbasaur, I didn't want any ordinary Bulbasaur, so I went out and caught 2 different Bulbasaurs. I then headed home and crafted up all of the components I would need to make myself a breeding daycare. I wanted this as I wanted to use 2 different Bulbasaurs to breed together and create the ultimate Bulbasaur. So after I had everything I needed, I made up a bunch of eggs for my Bulbasaurs and then headed out on Talonflame. Now, the reason I have Talonflame as well is because he has the ability Flame Body. This means that with the eggs, they'll hatch twice as fast when they've got a Pokemon in the party that has Flame Body. Eventually, I finally hatched the perfect Bulbasaur, and as you can see in the chat, it had some amazing IVs at 89%, which is amazing. I then decided that I wanted to go out and find another Pokemon to fuse with my Bulbasaur. So I RTP'd loads and loads of times until eventually I ended up stumbling across something else. An Azelf spawned, which is one of the Lake Guardians. I decided to catch this as there was a couple Pokemon that I would be able to make and fuse using the Lake Guardians. I then headed back home and checked my PC and remembered that I'd already caught a Mesprit earlier on in this 100 days. So I only needed one more Pokemon, Uxie, to be able to get the Lake Trio and then create the Red Chain to possibly spawn myself Dialga, Giratina, or even Palkia. I then headed out and continued looking for another Pokemon to fuse with Bulbasaur, and I ended up defeating a couple raid dens, which gave me some pretty good loot along the way. And the reason I wanted to defeat as many raid dens as possible, as it would give me a lot of XP candies, which I could use later on to level up my team super fast. Eventually, I finally stumbled across the Pokemon I was looking for, and it was a dino. I once again, with the Bulbasaur, decided that I would catch 2 different dinos, a male and a female dino, so that I would be able to breed them together to create the ultimate dino with the best possible IVs. So after catching them, I headed back home, went to my daycare, put in both the dinos, and waited for the eggs to hatch. Eventually, I finally had a couple eggs, and I went out and hatched them all out with Talonflame once again. Whilst trying to hatch the egg, I came across a couple more raid dens where I ended up getting myself a Park Ball, which is essentially just another Master Ball, which is super helpful in catching legendary Pokemon down the line if I need them for fusions. And since the dino is a pseudo-legendary, it took so long to hatch, but eventually I finally hatched out another dino egg, which ended up being a really strong dino. I then headed through to the level grinder, where I ended up evolving both my Bulbasaur and my Dino all the way up to their final evolutions. I started with Bulbasaur into an Ivysaur, and then Ivysaur all the way up to a Venusaur. I then spent a little bit longer in the level grinder, where I ended up having my Dino evolve into a Zweilous, and a Zweilous up into a Hydreigon. Now that I'd got both my Pokemon to level 100, I then headed over to the Fusion Machine, putting in Venusaur and Hydreigon, adding the fusion key, and creating the fusion Pokemon Hydrasaur. He looked so cool. I was so happy to have this one as my starter Pokemon for this 200 days. And just look at how hilarious he looks when he's waddling along right there. He looks so funny. I love this one so much. I then headed over to the EV grinder, where I perfected the stats on my Hydrasaur to make him as strong as possible, getting him 252 in HP and special attack. I then headed home, where I ended up finding a Mega Slowbro boss. But luckily, with my Grass-type Hydrasaur, I easily defeated this Mega boss, getting me some pretty good loot. I wanted to get myself an Articuno during this 200 days, so I used an orb that I'd picked up in the last 100 days and fused it with an Ice Stone, making the Orb of Frozen Souls. Now all I had to do was defeat 375 different Pokemon to completely fill up the orb. And whilst filling up the orb, I decided to start defeating Pokemon in the Savannah biome, as there was also a Pokemon in that biome that I wanted to get for this next 200 days. Eventually, after searching far and wide, I finally managed to find Dreepy. After catching the Dreepy, I continued defeating Pokemon, where I ended up coming across a shiny Weedle. It was so random to have found a shiny Weedle, but I would take it because there is a fusion that needs Beedrill. Once again, I continued defeating as many raid dens as I possibly could to fill up my orb as much as possible. As the quicker I fill up an orb, the quicker I can get Articuno and then create even more amazing fusion Pokemon for you guys to see. Whilst I'm filling up this orb though, if you guys do enjoy these 100-day videos with the fusion Pokemon, make sure to let me know down below, firstly, what your favorite fusion Pokemon is, and secondly, if you want to see more 100 days with these Pokemon. Eventually, I finally filled up the Orb of Frozen Souls, so I headed over to the Articuno Shrine at Warp Shrines and summoned the legendary bird Articuno. Now that I finally had an Articuno, I headed out to find even more Pokemon to fuse together. Eventually, I RTP'd into the correct biome, which was a Dark Oak Forest biome, as I wanted to find one Pokemon in particular. So I grabbed a bunch of torches, laid them down everywhere, and if you guys can guess what Pokemon I'm looking for right now, make sure to comment down below. And of course, eventually after placing all the torches, the candle Pokemon Litwick had spawned, which was exactly what I was looking for. I then took a little break from hunting for all of the Pokemon and headed over to the level grinder, where I evolved my Dreepy all the way up into a Dragapult, and my Litwick all the way up into a Chandelure. I then headed into a new biome, which was the Swamp biome, as I wanted to fish up a certain Pokemon to fuse with one of my Pokemon I just evolved. So I found a little pond in the Swamp biome and hunted for so long until eventually I finally fished up Greninja. To fuse with one of the Pokemon, I needed Greninja, but there was another Pokemon I was going to need to fuse with the other Pokemon that I'd recently caught. So I decided to AFK in the Swamp biome for a couple days until eventually the legendary Pokemon Spectria spawned. Now I had two Pokemon that I could fuse together. So I headed straight back over to the fusion machine and fused together firstly Spectria and Chandelure, creating Spectralure. It looked so cool. I was so happy with this fusion Pokemon. And I didn't waste any more time. I then put in Dragapult and then I put in Greninja. A fan favorite, Dragoninja. The the fusion between Dragapult and Greninja, it was such a strong Pokemon. I was so happy now that I finally had this powerhouse of a fusion Pokemon on my team. So I headed straight over to the level grinder and leveled up both Spectralure and Dragoninja up to level 100. Meaning I now had 3 different Pokemon that were fused together and on my team. I then fully trained them up with their EVs, and then headed straight over to the Pokemart to use the move relearner and get the perfect movesets on all of my Pokemon. After this, I then decided to head to the War Zone, as there's so many strong Pokemon that can spawn here at very high levels, making it really easy for me to get a bunch of super cool Pokemon. So I headed in and just caught as many Pokemon as I could possibly find. This included a Pokemon called Aggron, and of course, Charizard. Now that I'd caught both of these in the War Zone, I headed out, went straight over to the fusion machine, and I fused together Aggron and Charizard to create the ultimate Pokemon, Agrazard. And he looked so cool. I was so happy that I'd managed to just whip this up super quick from the War Zone. I then teleported into Ultra Space, as I needed to find the Beast Ball loots, as they contained the Arceus plates. They were super rare to find, but I spent days searching for these, until eventually I actually managed to find quite a few Arceus plates, which meant that I'd eventually be able to summon Arceus. While searching for all these Beast Ball loots, I had a bunch of raid dens I came across, so I defeated a bunch of them to get me a bunch of good loot. I then decided that I wanted to have a snack, and this time in real life. So I left my player AFK outside my house while I was just munching on a bunch of food. And then eventually a Suicune spawned on the beach. I was not expecting this whatsoever. I was just sat there eating a bunch of food. And then all of a sudden a legendary Suicune was there. I was so happy, as this was actually one of the Pokemon I could use to fuse with my Articuno. So I headed straight back to the Warp Fusions, put in Suicune and Articuno, added the fusion key, and created Suicuno. I was so happy that I accidentally stumbled across this Suicune while eating food. It meant that I'd be able to create this amazing looking Pokemon. It was so majestic. I was in love with how amazing this Pokemon looked. I then took Suicune over to the level grinder and got it up to level 100. I then also went over to the EV training area and made it as strong as it possibly could be. After that, I spent a bunch of time just RTPing through different biomes, until eventually, once again, like the Weedle we had earlier on, a wild shiny Hoot spawned on me. I decided to catch it, but there wasn't any fusions were knocked out, so I would just have a random shiny Hoot. With that, I continued RTPing until eventually I was able to find the correct biome. Now, this biome that I needed was the jungle biome. After AFKing in this biome for a little while looking for a certain Pokemon, I had a Mega Boss Sceptile spawn on me, which was awesome. I ended up getting the Sceptilite, which I might be able to use in the future. I then continued AFKing, where I ended up defeating a bunch more raid dens to get loads of amazing loot. And the Pokemon that I'm searching for is so rare. So it's going to be a little while before I find this guy. So I spent days and days just defeating as many raid dens as I possibly could. There were so many to defeat. Until eventually, I finally hit the jackpot. I heard a little Mew sound, and then I saw it. The legendary Pokemon Mew. I was so happy now that I finally had the Pokemon I was looking for so many days. Now that I had Mew, there was only one thing left to do. So I headed home and created the cloning chamber. Now that I had the cloning chamber, I had to head back down into the mines, as I needed to get a bunch of diamonds to create a bunch of diamond blocks, which I would need to clone Mew into a Mewtwo. And if I used iron blocks or gold blocks, I would most likely get a Ditto. But if I use diamonds, there is a strong chance that I will get Mewtwo. So I put in all of the diamond blocks and waited for the fusion, but it was a Ditto. I ended up getting a Ditto with all of those diamond blocks. So I ended up just using some gold that I'd got from the Melmetal in the last 100 days. But once again, I got a Ditto. So I went back down and got more diamond blocks, thinking it's fine. I'll get a Mewtwo this time. And I ended up getting a third Ditto. I could not believe this. Luckily though, Hawk said I could use his Mew to get myself a Mewtwo. So I put in the diamond blocks necessary, and what do you know? We actually got a Mewtwo to spawn. But then Hawk stole the Mewtwo from me. He just jumped in, engaged battle with the Mewtwo, and stole it from me. I was devastated. So I proposed a trade to Hawk. I said that what would he take for a Mewtwo? So I proposed I gave him the Nihilego from last time in the 100 days, and then also a Diancie that I'd managed to pick up along the way. And he was so up for this, because he actually had a Diancie that he could use to Mega Evolve. So he was up for this trade. So luckily, I was actually able to get the Mewtwo back after hustling with Hawk. So we traded the Ultra Beast for Mewtwo, and then I threw him the Diancie, and now I had a Mewtwo on my team. So I decided to set sail and continue my adventure, looking for one more Pokemon that I would fuse with a Mewtwo. Eventually, though, I managed to find it in the deep ocean. This Pokemon was a Dratini, as I wanted to get myself a Dragonite. This fusion between Dragonite and Mewtwo was going to look insane, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So I wasted no time at all. I headed straight over to the level grinder and evolved my Dratini up into a Dragonair. And then from Dragonair all the way up to Dragonite. Now that I finally had a Dragonite, I headed straight over to the fusion machine. I added Mewtwo and I added Dragonite along with the fusion key, and I created Mutanite. I was so happy with Mutanite. He was a very, very strong Pokemon as well. As you can imagine, we've now created the ultimate fusion, Mutanite. So, as usual, I took him straight back to the level grinder, leveled him up to 100, and then trained him in EVs to make him as strong as possible. I then decided to take a little break from hunting fusion Pokemon, so I headed back to Ultra Space to look for even more Arceus plates. And what do you know, I actually managed to find quite a few of the plates I needed. And now that I had most of the Arceus plates that I was going to need, I knew there was only one more thing that I needed to do. That was find the final Lake Trio Uxie. So I headed into a Dark Oak Forest, which is where it spawns, and after running around and AFKing for so long, I finally had the legendary Uxie spawn in a little pond. And after catching him, I headed home and then got each of the different rubies, Ruby of Knowledge, Ruby of Emotion, and the Ruby of Willpower from the Lake Guardians, which I used to create the red chain. Now that I had the red chain, I headed straight over to the time-space altar, and I summoned in the legendary Pokemon Giratina. He was so amazing, one of my favorite legendary Pokemon. Now, if you guys remember back to the previously in the last 100 days, I caught a shiny Magikarp. Now, all I had to do was evolve this guy up into a Gyarados, a 7th fusion for this 200 days. I headed over to the level grinder, leveled him up to create the giant red Gyarados. Now that I had the Gyarados, I headed straight to the fusion machine, added Giratina and Gyarados, and created Giratina. Sounded just like the normal Giratina, but he was amazing. Like a giant mythical worm. It looked so cool. And as per routine, I headed straight over to the level grinder and leveled him up to level 100. Now I had a full team of 6 level 100 super strong fusion Pokemon. I was getting closer and closer each day to creating even more fusion Pokemon. And if you guys want to see me get every single fusion Pokemon on the server, let me know in the comments or by liking the video, and I'll continue creating 100 days on this server to get every single fusion Pokemon. With this strong team I now had, I decided to head back into the war zone to see if I could find any more fusion Pokemon which I might be able to fuse and create even more fusions in this 100 days. I ended up finding myself a Tepig, and I ended up catching a bunch more super strong Pokemon in the war zone, which I'd eventually need to create more fusion Pokemon. I also ended up catching a couple Pokemon that didn't actually have fusions, just in case I might need them in the future. I now wanted to find one more rare item, so I headed over to the boss tower to grind up a bunch of money and a bunch of boss drops, in the hopes I'd finally get the item that I needed. And eventually, after getting so many items, I finally got the item I wanted, and that was the Adamant Orb, used to spawn the legendary Pokemon Dialga. So I grabbed up more rubies from the Lake Trio and created a second red chain. So with the second red chain that I now had, I used the Adamant Orb and I summoned Dialga, one of my favorite legendary Pokemons of all time. And I was so happy to have him. I didn't hesitate whatsoever and I instantly threw a Master Ball, catching the Dialga. And now that I had a Dialga, there was one more fusion Pokemon that I wanted to create in this 100 days. And if you remember back in the war zone not too long ago, I caught myself a Piplup. So I evolved it up in the training area to get it to an Empoleon, and then I created my last and final fusion, Dialgion. The fusion between Empoleon and Dialga, I was so happy with this. I thought he looked amazing. Just look how amazing he looks. I was so happy to finally have my 8th fusion of this 100 days. And as you can see here, I'd collected up so many Arceus plates, but I was missing 2 plates. And what would you know? Hawk, my rival, had the last 2 plates that I needed. So we decided to have a battle. His Mega Pokemon versus my Fusion team. And it was a pretty close battle, but I ended up becoming victorious, receiving the Flame Plate and the Stone Plate, which I added to my collection, meaning I now had every single Arceus plate I would need to summon in the legendary Pokemon Arceus. I could not wait, so I grabbed out all of the plates and headed straight over to the shrines. I walked up to the Arc Chalice and I entered in all of my Arceus plates that I had, until eventually I got the Azure Flute. The flute that was used to summon Arceus, the god Pokemon. I was so excited that I was going to create the god of all Pokemon Arceus. So I headed straight over to the Time-Space Altar and I used the Azure Flute, summoning in Arceus. I could not believe that I was about to do this. The ultimate fight. But then I realized I don't want to fight this thing. I just need to catch him, because this video is all about creating fusion Pokemon, as there are 2 different Pokemon that I can fuse with Arceus in this server. To find out what they are, stay tuned for the next 100 days of Pixelmon fusions. It's time for 300 days in Minecraft Fusion Pixelmon. I loaded into the server and got my daily reward, which ended up being a great lucky block. I upgraded it and it went into a rare lucky block. I opened it up and what do you know? I got myself a legendary Giratina. Now, if you guys remember back into the previous 100 days, I also caught myself an Arceus at the end of my 200 days. And with this, I now have 2 Pokemon I can fuse together, which is Arceus and Giratina. I added the fusion key, and I can now create Giracious, the legendary god Pokemon. The combination of the ruler of the underworld and the god. He looked so cool. I was so happy with this Pokemon. And as usual, I headed straight over to the level grinder and leveled up Giracious to level 100, which is where I got his new signature move, Descent from Grace. An extremely powerful normal type move with 200 power, but I've only got 1 use of it per battle, so I've got to use it wisely. I then met someone who was a fan of the channel on the server called The Collector, and he explained to me that he wanted me to catch him a Psyduck, as he was collecting every different type of Psyduck on the server. That doesn't just include the normal Psyduck and the shiny Psyduck. He wanted original trainers of certain ranks on the server, and that included the YouTube rank, which he hadn't got yet. So he asked me if I could catch him one. So I went out, found myself a Psyduck, and then teleported to his base, where he showed off this amazing collection, where he had the entirety of the original 151 Pokemon. He had all the Mega Stones, he had all the different types of armor, all the different stones. He had so much in his collection. So I sent him over the Psyduck to help with his collection, and then he showed off a bunch more of his base. It was so cool. And if you guys want to join me on the server, you just need to type in the IP that will be down in the description, which is play.smashmc.co. And then you could try and find me on the server and show off your insane bases as well. I then decided to grab out my Delphox from the PC, and if you remember previously in the past couple 100 days, I have been trying to catch a Darkrai for so long. And unfortunately though, when I went to the Dark Oak Forest to try and find it, it was the correct moon rotation. But as it was sunrise, the moon had already gone down and I'd missed my chance. So I was going to have to wait a lot longer to be able to get the correct moon rotation. So I headed back and sorted through my PCs to grab out all of the Pokemon that I knew had fusions at the moment on the server. I ended up grabbing out a Blaziken, a Cinderace, a Pachirisu, a Charmander, a Tepig, and even a Riolu. And now I had all the Pokemon that I'd previously caught that I would be able to use to turn into fusion Pokemon later in the 100 days. But for this particular hunt, I decided to grab out my Charmander. And luckily, when I caught him in the war zone, he was level 98. So it wasn't a lost cause just yet. I was actually able to get him up to a Charizard later on. So I headed out and found the biome I was looking for, which is a Mega Taiga Hills. This biome's quite rare, so it took me quite a while to find. But after I found it, I pillared up with dirt and made a giant grass platform, and AFK'd for quite a while. And then when I got a bit bored, I decided to evolve my Charmander into a Charmeleon, and then a Charmeleon up into a Charizard. And whilst doing that, I then looked at my Charizard, and a Zekrom had spawned. There was no way I got so lucky with this. And it was definitely well-deserved after making such an enormous platform just to get this one legendary to spawn. But I was super happy now that I had it. So I rushed straight over to the fusion machine, put in my Charizard and my Zekrom, added in the fusion key, and created Zekazard. He was such a cool fusion Pokemon. I was so happy to finally have the second fusion Pokemon of this 300 days. And don't forget, if you guys love these fusions just as much as I do, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like the video. I then headed out to explore a little bit more to find more fusion Pokemon, where I ended up running across a savanna biome. So I completed a couple raid dens and then came across this mega boss Kangaskhan. After defeating him, I then AFK'd in the savanna biome as it was a legendary that I wanted to catch. Whilst AFKing though for so long, I had a shiny Honedge spawn. And if you guys have seen shiny Honedge, he is one of the coolest shiny Pokemon. I loved him so much. Unfortunately though, he doesn't have a fusion yet. Eventually though, after days of searching, Victini finally spawned. So I headed back to the fusion machine, I grabbed out my Mew and my Victini, and I created Mewtini. The tiny little mythical fusion Pokemon. I loved him so much. He was so cute. I then headed home and checked out all 3 fusions that I'd made with the giant Gracias and the pretty huge Zekazard and the tiny little Mewtini. I was so happy with what I'd finally achieved so far on this 300 days. And if you guys want to see more fusion Pokemon, I'm planning to do up to 500 days of this fusion series. And if you guys want to see more of these fusions, make sure to let me know in the comments or subscribe to the channel. And since I'd spent so much time on this server over the past 300 days, I didn't actually realize, but there's actually a battle pass feature on the server, which means the more that you do and the more you unlock, you get a bunch of really cool rewards just by playing on the server and completing random tasks. And since I hadn't claimed any up to 300 days, I had so much to claim, including a bunch of different lucky blocks, which I'd be able to use to upgrade hopefully and get loads of cool Pokemon. So I rushed straight outside and was preparing to open up all of my lucky blocks. First, I decided though that because I got an egg from the battle pass, I grabbed out my Talonflame, which has the ability Flame Body, and I hatched out the egg. I managed to get myself a custom skin Anubis Pumpkaboo, which is super cool. There's so many cool custom textures on the server, but I didn't really care about many of them, because I only care about the fusion Pokemon. So we opened up our lucky blocks, hoping to get something cool. I managed to get a Crobat, but he's not a fusion Pokemon. So we continued opening the lucky blocks, where I got a shiny Slowpoke, and then I got an upgrade to a rare lucky block. I was so excited to open this bad boy. So I caught the shiny Slowpoke, and then prepared to get my legendary Pokemon. And what do you know? I opened up the rare lucky block and actually got a Darkrai, which was so lucky, as I thought I was going to have to spend so many days just trying to find a Darkrai on the current moon rotation. So I headed back over to the fusion machine, put in the Darkrai and the Delphox, and I created Darfox, the super cool fusion Pokemon. Between my favorite Pokemon Darkrai and Delphox, I was so happy with this one, as you can tell by the amazing thumbnail. I then decided to head back over to my massive platform, as for some reason I thought I needed to catch a Pachirisu still, even though if you remember before, I literally put one in my PC. But I headed back out and caught another Pachirisu anyway. And in order to fuse a Pachirisu, I had to find a Manaphy. So I just circled around my base because it's surrounded by a deep ocean. But unfortunately, I didn't have any luck. So I headed out to find something different. And that Pokemon was going to be in a dark oak forest. So I headed straight back over and I found the Phantump. Now, in order to fuse a Phantump, I would need a Mimikyu, which I ended up finding not too long after. So I headed back to the fusion machine, I put in my Phantump, and I put my Mimikyu, and I fused them together to create Phantumime, which was an awesome fusion Pokemon. I was so happy with it, because Mimikyu is one of my favorites. I then headed back over to the level grinder, and leveled up my entire fusion team up to level 100, meaning I now had 5 different fusion Pokemon that I'd have on my team. So I grabbed up my Scorbunny and took it straight back to the level grinder, and I evolved it all the way up into a Cinderace. I then RTP'd back out as I wanted to find a certain biome in particular. I wasn't able to find it just yet, so I decided to head down into the mines. As if you remember previously in the first 100 days, I had to grab so many ores in order to get myself a Meltan. So I went back to it again and smelted up a bunch of ores in all of my furnaces until eventually I finally had the Meltan spawn on me again, which was super lucky. I was so happy to finally have a second Meltan. So I captured the Meltan and then grabbed out my Tepig that I'd caught previously and headed back to evolve my Meltan. And if you remember previously, all you've got to do to evolve it is smelt up 400 ores, collect them out of the furnaces, and then level up the Meltan in order for him to evolve into a Melmetal. Now that I had a Melmetal, all I had to do was evolve my Tepig. So I used my remaining rare candies to use on the Tepig to get him to a Pignite, and then from a Pignite up into an Emboar. With that, I can now make my 6th fusion Pokemon. Melmetal and Tepig with the fusion key creates Melboar. Not my favorite fusion, but I thought he was still super cool, and I was super happy to now have a full team of 6 fusion Pokemon. I then headed back out as I wanted to find a certain biome, like I said before when I was RTPing. I've managed to actually find it this time. The biome I was looking for was a bamboo forest, and that's because a certain legendary Pokemon called Kubfu spawns in this biome. It's a super rare spawn, but I really needed it to fuse with my Cinderace. So once I got there, I cleared out a massive area in the forest and then waited for it to spawn. While I was waiting, I had a Mega Boss Sceptile spawn, which I defeated. Then I got super bored because I was waiting for days and days. So I just opened up a bunch of Lucky Blocks. I managed to get 2 upgrades on my Lucky Blocks, which ended up being 2 legendary Pokemon. The first one ended up being a Mew, which I was super happy about, although we'd seen quite a few Mews in this previous 100 days. But I did actually need this Mew, as I would need a Mewtwo for a certain fusion at some point. I then also opened my second Ultra Lucky Block and got myself a Kyogre, which I was so happy about, as I needed another Kyogre to make certain fusion Pokemon later in the 100 days. I then AFK'd for a little longer where I had a shiny Joltik spawn on me. Eventually, I finally found Kubfu, managed to catch him, and then headed back home. Now, in order to evolve my Kubfu into an Urshifu, I would need to find an Urshifu tower. And there'd be a flag at the top of this tower which I would show to my Kubfu, which would evolve him. I then came across an ice spiked biome. So I waited around until eventually a Hisuian Zorua spawned, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. I, once again, love this Pokemon. I then continued the hunt for the Urshifu Tower, where I managed to find the Water Urshifu Tower. And then I evolved my Kubfu into a Water-type Urshifu. With that, I'd already leveled up my Cinderace, so I headed back to the Fusion Machine, put in my Urshifu and my Cinderace, along with the Fusion Key, and I created Cindershifu, which was a super cool fighting fire-type Pokemon. I was so happy with this guy. He reminded me a little bit of a Bugs Bunny, but I was super happy either way, because I'd created another fusion Pokemon, which meant I was one step closer to completing my goal of catching every fusion Pokemon. I did recently just catch the Hisuian Zorua, which meant that I would have another fusion ready. I would just have to evolve them both up into their final forms. So I headed to the level grinder, evolved up my Hisuian Zorua into a Hisuian Zoroark, and then my Riolu into a Lucario. With that, I headed to the fusion machine and created Zorcario, a super cool fusion Pokemon. And as Lucario, once again, is one of my favorite Pokemon. He is my top 2 Pokemon. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments what your favorite Pokemon is, and if it's a fusion, I will try to make it in the 400 days of this series. As we were coming closer to 300 days, I rushed out to find myself a jungle biome, as there was another legendary that I would need in the jungle that would make an awesome fusion Pokemon. So I found a jungle biome finally, headed up into the trees and waited and AFK'd until the legendary spawned. Unfortunately, it took ages to spawn, so once again like before, I decided to just open up some Lucky Blocks. Unfortunately, I didn't get any upgrades, so I just caught the shiny Pokemon and then continued hunting for the legendary Pokemon. Eventually, after days of waiting, I finally had a Tapu Koko spawn on me. I was so happy that I now had Tapu Koko because I already had the Blaziken I was going to need to fuse this Pokemon. So once again, we headed back to the fusion machine, put in Tapu Koko and Blaziken, and we created Blazicoco, a super cool fusion Pokemon. And I've already used this fusion Pokemon, but you guys haven't seen that video yet. So when it comes out, let me know in the comments if you remember seeing this fusion Pokemon in this series. So I headed back to my base and just AFK'd around the edges of my island until eventually I had a mega boss spawn on me. It wasn't quite Manaphy, but it was a super cool mega boss Gyarados. So I decided to take it on and managed to defeat it pretty easily. So I headed into the battle and I started with Zorcario and I used his signature move, which was really cool, as it was a move where sort of like transform with Mew and Zoroark with its illusion. When I use that move, it does damage and it also turns me into the Pokemon I'm battling. Eventually though, I managed to defeat the Gyarados and got myself some decent loot. I then continued hunting for days for this Manaphy to spawn, until eventually I got so lucky and it actually managed to spawn on me. So I quickly rushed into the water and engaged in battle with the Manaphy, which I ended up catching pretty quickly. With that, I then headed back over to the fusion machine, added in my Manaphy and my Pachirisu, and created Manarisu, the tiny little mythical fusion Pokemon. I was so happy with it. It was so cute. And since we had a couple days left to spare, I decided instead of rushing around, I'd head into the biome of the Pokemon that I wanted to catch next for the 400 days of this series. And that biome was a swamp biome. After I'd eventually found it, I AFK'd there for the last remaining days until eventually I finally had it spawn on me. It was Eternatus. Stay tuned for 400 days if you want to see what I fused this Pokemon with. We are back, baby, with another Fusion Pixelmon 100 days. Of course, this time we're going to be completing 400 days in Minecraft Fusion Pixelmon. I am so excited for this one. I hope you guys are as well, and if you are, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button for this video. Now, as always, in common tradition for the 100 days on the Fusion Pixelmon, I've logged on for my daily reward and ended up getting myself a rare lucky block, which of course is huge, as if you play on SMASHMC, you will know that a rare lucky block always contains a legendary Pokemon and has a chance to upgrade into a Master Ball lucky block, which will give me a shiny legendary Pokemon. Now, we did end up getting ourselves an Eternatus on the last 300 days of Fusion Pixelmon, and there's one Pokemon in particular that I need to get to fuse with Eternatus. That, of course, being Arceus, the god of Pokemon. So I'm hoping that by opening this rare lucky block, I might be able to get lucky enough to be able to get the god of Pokemon himself and hopefully create a fusion straight away, which would be huge. So without further ado, let's open up this lucky block and see what we get. Come on, please. Yo, Regieleki, that is so cool. Now let's grab ourselves a ball. Let's catch this Regieleki. Get in the ball, sir. Thank you very much. Hey, there we go, Regieleki. But luckily for me, we obviously did manage to get ourselves a Kyogre in the last 300 days of Fusion Pixelmon. And then, luckily for us, is a fusion between Regieleki and Kyogre, which means that we can kickstart this 400 days by getting ourselves a fusion Pokemon. So we can head on over to the Warp Fusions and make our way up to the fusion machine. Okay, here we go. It's time to put in our fusion key, add in our Regieleki and our Kyogre, and create Kyoleki. Here we go. Come on. Hey, look at that beast. Let's go. Already, we have a fusion Pokemon to join our team for 400 days in Pixelmon Fusions. And this guy looks amazing. I've never realized how cool this thing actually looks. I've always sort of passed this fusion up and been like, man, it's all right. But looking at it now, it actually looks so cool. I can't lie, the underneath of him does look like a giant yellow shrimp, but we will take that. Kyoleki is our first fusion Pokemon to add to the team. Now that we have ourselves a Kyoleki, I think that I want to try and get its signature move straight away. Wait, what is this? Yo, wait, there's Easter eggs in spawn now. Okay, we may have to go and hunt for these eggs in this 100 days and see if we can get anything cool. That would be awesome. Okay, I may have to go out and try and search for all of these Easter eggs. I'm assuming there's an Easter event still going on right now, as I am recording this just after Easter has gone by. So we'll leave it for now, but we will end up collecting those at some point during this 100 days. All right, so we've made it to the level grinder. I just want to use the Garchomps here to try and level up my Kyoleki if I'm strong enough. No. Okay, come on. Yes. Okay, so we just need to try and level up my Kyoleki all the way up to level 100, as I do want to see what his signature move is for this fusion. Currently, right now, though, my Kyoleki is not strong enough. So I think what we're going to have to do, let's heal him up real quick. And now that we've healed him up, let's head into the PC and we'll grab out one of our previous fusions. Let's say we'll grab out Darfox. We'll make sure our XP all is on. There we go. And now we'll head into the battle, as obviously Darfox is a level 100, so we should be able to, yeah, there we go. So now we can just one-hit the Garchomps as many times as we need and get our fusion leveled up pretty quickly here. I just unlocked level 55 on the trainer skills as well on the server while leveling up my Kyoleki with some extra large XP candies. And I ended up getting myself a random shadow Pokemon. So I haven't actually checked this out yet, but I figured it'd be cool to show you guys as well. So let's take a look. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there are some really, really cool shadow Pokemon, but I'm sorry, this is not it. This one is very disappointing. Oh, no. Hey, and there we go. Finally, we have got our Kyoleki to level 100, and we have our signature move, which looks like it's called Torrential Current. The user releases an electrically charged current that damages and stuns its opponent, with a power of 110 and an accuracy of 90. It looks like I can use it 5 times as well, so this must be a very powerful water type move that looks like it also maybe flinches or paralyzes the opponent as well, so this could be really, really strong. There we go. Finally, though, we have our Kyoleki level 100 and its signature move. Now, I was thinking about maybe going for the Easter eggs now, but we do obviously have our lonesome Eternatus right here. So I want to try and head out and try and find a fusion for this guy. And if you did end up commenting on my last video, I saw a bunch of people comment saying to fuse this guy with Arceus, which, as I mentioned before, is the Pokemon that he will be fusing with. So well done to you if you did comment that in the last video. But without further ado, I think it's time to head out and look for more Arceus plates. Now, obviously, since we're on 400 days, we've collected a lot of stuff over the 100 days that we've spent. So I am just going to go through all of my chests here just to see if I find any Arceus plates. And yes, okay, cool. So we do have a Meadow plate. Any more? No. And yes, okay, a Draco plate. Come on, any in here? Doesn't look like we have any in there. Oh, there we go. A Sky plate, a Zap plate, and a Pixie plate, and a Dread plate. As you can see, we already have 6 of the plates, but we do need a bunch more in order to summon Arceus in the Azure Flute. So I think the best thing to do now is head out and look for an Ultra Space Wormhole. They do spawn sort of frequently, but they also can be very rare, so we're going to have to try our hardest to find one. There are certain Pokemon, though, like I'm pretty sure Solgaleo Lunala and maybe Arceus have an ability where they can summon the portals, but I don't think that we have any spare of those. Let's have a little look quickly. So obviously we did have an Arceus before in the previous 100 days, but we did fuse that to make Gracias, and I'm pretty sure when I throw him out, I don't think that he has the ability. No. Okay, so he doesn't actually have the ability. He only has the Forage one, which every Pokemon has, and also an Scare ability, which intimidates the Pokemon nearby, which means they're too afraid to challenge you. Okay, so that's not really that helpful here. That's so annoying. And we don't have a Lunala yet. That's, okay. So we are going to have to just manually go out and find one, so this may take a little while. Yes! Okay, finally! Hey! Okay, we found ourselves an Ultra Space Wormhole. I don't know, can I fly on Eternatus? I can! Okay, cool. No, I don't know what the button is to go down. Oh, no! Okay, well, we're going to be here for a hot minute, but I will be back once we finally get down to this pool. In fact, never mind. We don't need to be back. Okay, come on. There we go. Yes. Okay, we've made it into Ultra Space. Now, since the Ultra Space has been updated on Pixelmon, there's a lot of new stuff in here to explore and find, like maybe this pink Weedle. I mean, why are you pink? Are you okay? I'm just going to let this Weedle do its thing. As I was saying anyway, there is... Okay, so there's a raid den here with a Rattata. We don't care about that. Might be top percentage, but we ain't looking for a Rattata right now. Maybe... Oh, we should get Cyrude to make a top percentage Rattata fusion. Maybe like a Rattata and a Rattata. And you get the Joey's Rattata. Is it Joey? I think it's Youngster Joey that has the top percentage Rattata from the Pokemon games. I can't actually remember. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. we are here looking for loot. We need the Ultra Beast Ball loot. There we go. Okay, so just like this one here. Pretty sure if we grab this. Okay, so we did get a quick ball here. Now, there are chances you can get the Arceus plates from these Beast Ball loots. So we're just going to have to run around and open up as many as possible and just hope that we do get lucky and get a bunch of Arceus plates. Because of the anti-gravity, it means that we can travel around Ultra Space pretty quickly as well. So it shouldn't take us too long to find any of these Beast Ball loots. There's what is it? A muck right there? Come on. No, we got a luck incense. But yeah, you get the gist. We obviously can find a bunch of these loots really fast, and we just need to find as many Arceus plates as possible. Come on. No. But as you can see with these loots, I did want to get a couple of them just to show you guys how difficult and how long it's going to take just for me to find the Arceus plates, so we may be here a while. But the beauty of Ultra Space, especially on the SMASHMC server, is the fact that they've added custom Pokemon, not only in the fusion Pokemon, but there is also a new custom Pokemon that has been added called Paradox Pokemon. Now, if you've played any of the Gen 9 games, you'll know that Paradox Pokemon are like past and future different versions of certain Pokemon. For example, like Charizard. Now, on the server, Charizard has 2 different Paradox forms in a future version and a past version, which are so cool. I really want to make a video on it as well to show you guys how amazing they all are. But of course, for the time being, we aren't going to be looking for Paradox Pokemon. We are, of course, looking for fusions. I've also just found out that apparently there are even more fusion Pokemon that have been added to the game whilst we've been doing this fusion series. And I thought that I was going to end this at 500 days, but I've got a feeling the longer this takes us, the more fusions that we're going to be adding to SMASHMC. So this series could last for quite a while. Now, if you do want to see me continue the series and catch every single fusion Pokemon that SMASHMC has to offer, please make sure to let me know down in the comment section, telling me what your favorite fusion is, or on a fusion that I haven't caught yet that you want to see me catch. Hey, come on, please. I just need at least one play. Yes! Finally! Okay, come on. So it's taken us quite a few of the Beast Ball loots to find even one of the plates. But we finally found the toxic plate, which is huge. I think the best thing to do is probably, I'm going to just open a bunch more of these loots. Come on. No, Keyberry. And then hopefully I can find a bunch, and then maybe we'll be able to summon Arceus. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get him straight away, but I'm going to try my best to find as many Arceus plates as possible. Here we go. Yes. Okay, there we go. Our second Arceus plate with the Earth plate. Come on. Come on. Yes. Let's go. Okay, so now that we've gotten an extra 3 Arceus plates, that puts our total to 9 plates. I'm pretty certain that we need 18 in total to summon Arceus, so we are halfway there. Hey, there's another one. Come on. Boom, an iron plate as well. Okay, so just checking out the battle pass. It looks like we have a common lucky block to open. Come on. Please give me something good. You know, it's just a Sableye. I mean, I guess it's fitting for this area. It's all purple. Sableye's purple. Damn it. I was really hoping we'd get an upgrade there. Hey, so we have a guy on the server. This guy here called Radgrap. He said that he has a bunch of spare Arceus plates that he's going to give to me for this focus sash right here. There we go, sir. Thank you very much for that. Hey, there we go. If you do want to join me on the server and be just like Radgrap, hang out with me on the server and show off your awesome legendary Pokemon just like this Ho-Oh right here, make sure to join the SMASHMC server and join the Groudon realm, which is exactly where I am making these fusion videos. Whoa, wait, what is that? Yo! No, this isn't in normal Pixelmon, right? A Paradox Dragapult? I didn't even know this existed. Yo, I didn't even know that they added another Paradox form. That's so cool. A Paradox Dragapult. The depth here, this is sick. Look at that. Yo, I thought it was only Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise that had Paradox forms, but it looks like Dragapult has one as well. That is so cool. Okay, we definitely need to catch this guy. I have been searching around in this Ultra Space for so long, and to be honest, hanging out in the deep sea area, I really thought that I was going to find a Paradox Blastoise, but I mean, I will take a Dragapult. I know that it's not technically a fusion Pokemon, but I'm gonna catch it just in case. I've never seen one of these before, so I don't want to miss up on a chance to get this bad boy. There we go. We caught ourselves a Depth Fear. Look at this. Okay, now this is a very sick Pokemon. Look at the little treepies as well. I know that I'm always like super excited to see all of these custom Pokemon because I love the fusions and all the custom Pokemon the server brings to it. But this is so cool. Normally, the normal forms are a lot better than the custom ones, but this, I much prefer this than normal Dragapult. Holy, this is cool. But anyways, let's not get distracted. Let's try and find the final Arceus plate that we need. As you can see in my inventory here, we have got a bunch of Arceus plates, needing only one more, I'm pretty sure. And then we have every single Arceus plate that we're going to need to summon Arceus. Oh, I missed one right here. Come on, please. Please, Pixelmon gods. Give me the final Arceus plate. Come on, please. Yes! Finally, we got the flame plate and now have all of the Arceus plates that we're going to need to summon the god of Pokemon. Come on! Yeah, so we have 17 plates here, but I am struggling to find any more. So I'm going to assume that we have all the plates we need. So let's head over to the Arc Chalice in Spawn and summon ourselves the Azure Flute to get Arceus. Okay, right, we've made it to the Arc Chalice right here. Let's start putting in all of the plates that we need to use. So yeah, I was right. It says 16 remain when I put my first one in, meaning that there definitely is only 17 Arceus plates that we need. So if I add in the last few here, come on, one plate remaining. Is any... Wait, what? Do I need to click it? I think I put all the plates in. I'm pretty sure normally there's like a bunch of particles that are meant to happen, but it doesn't look like anything's happening. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Holy. I thought that we'd broken it there. But we did get our Azure Flute. I'm assuming it just takes a while to load it in, or maybe the particles are glitched. I'm not too sure. But luckily, we did get the Azure Flute. Let's go. All right, here we go. It's time to summon Arceus. Oh, okay, we did it. We did it. Okay, we have summoned in Arceus. I thought we had to be at the time space altar, but it looks like you just need to right click with the Azure Flute. And we've entered the battle. Arceus, look at him over there. He's so small and Kyoleki's just huge. So he just pushes him out of the way. That's hilarious. Let's hit him with an Electro Web. Okay, exactly 50% health. We can't hit him again. Let's go for a Quick Ball, maybe. No, okay, he broke free. Come on. There we go. We have caught ourselves an Arceus. Let's go. And of course, now that we have Arceus, it's time to head over to the fusions again. And we'll head straight over to the fusion machine with our fusion key. There we go. Let's get that right there. Put it into the fusion machine. And it's time. Time to create one of, in my opinion, the coolest Pokemon fusions on SMASHMC. That, of course, being Eternatus with Arceus to create Arsenatus. Look at that. Holy, let's go. Let's get him out to show everyone his glory. Look at this beast. Now, this is exactly why this Pokemon right here is the thumbnail for this video. Look at how amazing this looks. Oh, I'm so excited to have this guy on my team. And of course, we do have our Kyoleki as well. What an amazing start to this 400 days. These two powerhouses of fusion Pokemon. Come on. Okay, so now that we have our two fusion Pokemon, of course, being Kyoleki and Arsenatus, I think that it's time that we take a little break from getting the fusions and we head back to the spawn. So if you remember before, we had a couple of these little Easter egg things around the spawn area when we went to the training area. And I think it would be a good time to just head around and try and find all of the Easter eggs around the spawn. I'm hoping I get a really good reward. I can't imagine they'd be too difficult to find. Like there's another one here. There's another one over here. And they've all got these green particles on them as well. So they're pretty visible from quite far away.
Hey, finally, we've got the last egg, the 50th Easter egg, and got ourselves a random shiny egg, which is pretty cool as well. I've got to give a quick shout out, though. I think it's Mr. Knight 2 here. He gave me the one at the enchant area. I didn't even know this place existed, but luckily he told me about it, and we managed to find the final Easter egg. Now, all of this stuff is what we managed to get from the Easter eggs, which is huge. Obviously, if you do join the server around Easter, it's a perfect time because you get all of this free stuff to help you start your journey. Obviously, we're quite far into the server now, so a lot of the stuff we won't really need. But the one thing I am interested in, of course, we have the Master Balls and we have the Lucky Blocks. So we have obviously the rare Lucky Block, we have the uncommon Lucky Block, and we have the free common Lucky Blocks. So I think we should head home and open those up straight away. We also have a legendary Pokeball change, a specific Pokemon, a shiny triple choice, which means you get to choose from 3 random shiny Pokemon, and a non-legendary resize. We also managed to get ourselves a Shadow Sharpedo. We'll have a little look at that guy now. He's alright. I mean, it's just pretty much a purple Sharpedo. Nothing too special there. And we obviously got a shiny Ursaluna, which of course is pretty cool. Look at this guy. Okay, so let's chuck into the PC our new Pokemon. So we'll chuck the shiny Ursaluna and we will chuck the Sharpedo in there. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's open up our shiny triple choice. Let's see what we're gonna get. Come on, please give me something that can help with fusions. Ooh, okay, so we got Aerodactyl, Decidueye, and Persimmon. Unfortunately, none of these guys do make a fusion, so we're just gonna take the Decidueye. Chuck you in here. There we go. Cool. All right, so now we have our Lucky Blocks as well. So we have our 3 common Lucky Blocks. Let's open these up right here. Come on, please. Whimsicott, Roggenrola, and Skorupi. Nothing good. Okay, come on. Let's open up our great Lucky Block now. Come on. Yes, we got an upgrade. We now have 3 rare Lucky Blocks. Come on. Okay, let's do 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Come on, please give me something good. Yo, Zygarde. Let's get this in the Pokeball real quick. And there we go. We have caught the Zygarde. Come on. Unfortunately, I don't think Zygarde does fuse with anything right now, so that one is unfortunate. But let's open up our second one. Come on. Yo, a little Kubfu. Let's go. And finally, we have our final rare Lucky Block. Come on, please. Oh, a Tapu Koko. I don't think that we can use this for anything because we already have made Blazer Koko. But we'll catch it anyway. There we go. All right, we've opened up all of our Lucky Blocks. And we managed to get ourselves, let's make another area. Okay, so we got Tapu Koko, we got Kubfu, and we got Zygarde. Now, I'm pretty sure there are 2 different Urshifu fusions, but unfortunately, we already have them both in Cindershifu and Rayshifu. And if you're wondering how I got this Rayshifu, along with the Swamp Ogre and the Grouchomp as well, I recently did a 24-hour challenge in Fusion Pixelmon in order to get the Rayshifu, the Swamp Ogre, and of course, the Grouchomp. And if you do want to check out that video, watch to the end of this one and then head over to the 24-hour challenge video. And you can see how I got these 3 awesome fusions. Now, of all the rest of the eggs that we did also get a couple crate keys. So as you can see here, we got the Fate crate, the Aura crate, the Megastone crate, and a rare crate. So let's head over and open those up now. So we've got the rare crate right here. Come on, 16 rare candies and 1,000 coins. I'll take it. We have the Fate crate. Okay, let's open this one. And we got a... not even a shiny, no! What a stinker, we got just an A-bomb. I'm assuming that this crate is to do with shiny. I mean, it says 50-50 shiny here. Okay, so we got the Aura here as well. Let's open this one up. A non-legendary Aura. And finally, we have a Megastone crate, which we've got a Houndoomite. Nothing really that special there, to be honest. Okay, so for the next Pokemon that I want to try and hunt for my next fusion, I'm going to be using this shiny Weedle that I caught previously. Now, the only Pokemon that can fuse with a Beedrill is Celesteela. But of course, since my Weedle is shiny, I am going to try and get myself a shiny Celesteela. But of course, shiny Celesteela is very, very, very difficult to find, let alone just Celesteela on its own. So I'm not going to hunt for a shiny Celesteela in the wild. What I'm going to try and do is catch a Celesteela, head back over to the legendary crates. So if we head on over now, and then I'm going to head back over to the legendary crates, and I want to look in this one right here. So I'm pretty certain right here, it has a legendary shiny convert. If I can catch and create 2 more legendary fusion Pokemon to give me 4 in total for this 400 days, I am going to give myself a legendary crate key as a reward and hope that I get the legendary shiny convert and make the Celesteela into a shiny Pokemon, getting me a shiny Beastealer. I'm pretty sure is the name of it. And I apologize if I butchered the name, but I'm pretty certain that's what it's called. If I do open the legendary crate though, and I don't end up getting the shiny convert, I'm not going to continue opening them. I'm only going to open the one, and if I don't get it, I'm just going to create the fusion anyway, and it will just have to be a non-shiny fusion. And there we go. Finally, we have found ourselves an Ultra Space Wormhole. Let's jump on Arsenatus. Here we go. Let's try not to jump so high this time. Okay, apparently I can't even jump. Come on, Arsenatus, you can do it, mate. Come on, buddy. No, he just doesn't want to jump. Okay, well, we're going to just build up there, I guess. Okay, we've made it up. Come on. Yes, there we go. All right. And great. So I swear they must spawn more frequently in here. I spend ages trying to find an Ultra Space Wormhole. And then the second I come into Ultra Space, there's instantly one here. That is crazy. All right. So for a Celesteela, I need to be in an Ultra Deep Sea. And I'm pretty sure this is the correct biome. Ultra Deep Sea. Perfect. So we're just going to have to hang around in here and hope that we finally find a Celesteela. Okay, now that is crazy. While I was running around searching for Celesteela, this spawned again. The depth fear. Holy. I can't believe another one has spawned down here. Obviously, we did already catch one, so I might see if anyone on the server wants it. And then I'm going to leave it alone, obviously, because it's not a fusion Pokemon, but that is still so cool to see. There we go. Well, this guy here, Nitro Lonely, said that he wants it, so there it is, sir. I hope you enjoy. Instantly with the click ball, I'm sure he's going to catch that one. Let's go. Yo, wait, I was so confused for a second there. I was like, why'd I just get a bunch of random stuff? But it looks like one of my eggs has hatched, and I got a shiny Torterra. Yo-ho! Unfortunately, I don't think that Torterra can fuse with any Pokemon on the server just yet, so this guy, unfortunately, is useless to us. Such a shame about Torterra, but we do still have one more egg. I'm not even sure if it's a shiny one, but it's taken a lot longer to hatch. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure the longer it takes to hatch, the better the Pokemon is as well. So, fingers crossed we've got something good here. Oh, that is actually hilarious. So, our new egg has hatched out into a Dracoloak, which isn't a fusion Pokemon that I can use. I've already got the Greninja and Dragapult fusion, but it is pretty funny as obviously we just had the Paradox Pokemon spawn over here of the Dragapult, and now we have the pre-evolution of it. That is pretty hilarious. It's such a shame that we can't even use it though. Yo! Wait, I didn't even see that thing spawn, and I haven't even got it in the chat. Wait, what? Oh my... Okay, we've got it. It's so small. I thought this thing was going to be huge. Yes. Finally, we have found a Celesteela. Although it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be, which is a bit weird, but we'll definitely take that. Come on. And there we go. We have caught ourselves Celesteela, and look at how tiny it is. That's hilarious. I thought this thing would be huge, but it's so small. I just want to check. That makes a lot of sense, actually. It's got a pygmy growth, which is so small. I'm pretty sure that's like maybe 1 or 2 off the smallest size. But nonetheless, we now have it in our possession. Of course, we still need to make another 2 fusions before we get the legendary crate to potentially turn this thing into a shiny. If not, it's not the end of the world. But we need to figure out which 2 fusion Pokemon we are going to find next. Now, because we need to make another 2 fusions before we can get ourselves a legendary key to hopefully get ourselves a shiny Celesteela, I think I'm going to try the fastest way possible. Now, instead of waiting for a legendary to spawn normally, what I'm going to do is grab out my Warzone team. As you'll know, with the Warzone, it has an increased rate to get legendary Pokemon to spawn. So if we just put up the max amount of time here, I'm pretty sure it's about 10 minutes long. There we go. Okay, 600 seconds. Perfect. Now let's enter into the war zone and let's see if we can find any cool Pokemon that we can fuse together. Yo, this is a completely new war zone area. I haven't actually seen this one yet. The last time I was in the war zone, there was a Crimson event, I'm pretty sure, going on. This one looks like some sort of desert temple event. Awesome though, I love it. This is like some sort of desert temple. I think like we got the Anubis up there. There's some sort of ancient temple here. Yo. Well, anyway, nonetheless, it doesn't matter what zone it is because either way, we're going to get increased legendary rates. And we just got to hope that there's another player in here. And there is a couple players just over there. I'm going to stay away from them for now.
just because, obviously, if they beat me, they're going to steal one of my Pokemon. And although I've just got a team that I really don't care about, I'm not trying to get in a battle in Warzone right now. I'm trying to find fusions and get out of here as soon as possible. Yo, look at that player there. He's got a baby Giratina on his head. Yo. Now, I'm pretty sure there are actually baby Pokemon in the server now, but in order to get them, you have to defeat the legendary Pokemon. And I want to say you have a certain percentage of a chance to get that baby egg. Get that legendary Pokemon's egg. And then, of course, you can hatch it out, and then you'll have your very own baby Pokemon. They are, of course, exclusive to the SMASHMC server, though. So if you do want one, you're going to have to join the server and hope that you get lucky enough to find a legendary Pokemon and then defeat it and get that percentage chance to get a legendary Pokemon egg. Well, that's so unlucky. Unfortunately, my time in the Warzone is up, and I wasn't able to find any legendary Pokemon, or even a Pokemon for that matter, that was able to fuse together. I got super unlucky right there. So we're going to head into the Warzone one more time and hope that we can find a legendary Pokemon. It seems like it's gotten a little bit more rare to find them since last time I was in the Warzone, as before, you'd normally find one every time you went in. It would just be a matter of if you could catch it or not. But luckily, I have 2 Master Balls, so if we do find one, I'll be able to catch it straight away. Okay, second Lux. Second time's a charm. Come on, we gotta find something. Yo. Oh, yes. Look at the chat. Moltres has just spawned somewhere in the Warzone, and there it is. Yes. Come on. Wait, no. Moltres, come back. Please. No. You don't escape. No. Come on, please, Moltres, please. Come on, Moltres. No. I haven't even got long in the Warzone either, so we actually do need to quickly catch this. Oh, no. Come on, Moltres. Go. Okay, wait for it to land. Boom. Okay, yes. We got into a battle with the Moltres. Let's go. Okay, we'll try and hit it with a quick ball. If we can't get it in the quick ball, we're going to just go for the Master Ball. Come on. Okay, no, we're just going to go for the Master Ball here. Let's just catch this bad boy real quick. Yes. Come on. It's huge as well because I was actually about to, after this, if we didn't get any legendary Pokemon, I was about to say, let's fill up an orb and get ourselves a Moltres, as there is a fusion between Moltres and Entei that I want to get during these 100 days. The Pixelmon gods have just answered my prayers and given me a Moltres straight away, which is huge, because now I don't even have to spend all the time filling up an orb. We can just head straight out and look for an Entei to create our 3rd fusion. And there we go. All right, we survived the Warzone, and we are heading out. Let's head into the Warzone Bank and claim our Moltres. Here we go. Warzone Bank, and there it is. Level 95 Moltres. Come on. Okay, let's switch our Warzone team back out. There we go. And let's add the Moltres to our team. Yes, look at this beauty. Come on. Okay, so like I said before, we now just need to RTP until we end up finding an extreme hills biome, as that is where Entei spawns. I'm not too sure. Let me just wiki Entei. I want to see which time of the day, what time of the day that he spawns. So it looks like he spawns at the daytime. He's an ultra rare spawn, and he spawns in Mountainous Edge, Gravelly Mountains, Wooded Mountains, Modified Gravelly Mountains, and just mountains in general. So, in other words, we just need to find some form of a mountain biome. There we go. Yes. Okay, we found an extreme hills biome. I'm pretty sure this is a wooded mountain as well. Yep, there we go. And that is another place that Entei will actually spawn. So we're going to wait around here for a little while and hopefully have an Entei spawn. Yo! I mean, it's not quite what we're looking for. Obviously, that's not an Entei, but it is still really cool. We have found ourselves a shiny Phanpy. Come on, let's go. All right, I'm going to catch it anyway, because obviously you can't really miss up on a shiny Pokemon. But unfortunately, there isn't a fusion that goes with Phanpy or its evolution Donphan. We cannot use this, unfortunately, but it's still really cool to find a shiny Pokemon. And there we go, a crit capture to catch ourselves a shiny Phanpy. Come on. So unfortunately, now that it is turning to nighttime, I'm not going to be able to have a chance at finding an Entei. So I think for now, we're just going to disappear for a little while, try and do something else, and then when it becomes daytime again, we'll come back and continue hunting for the Entei. Okay, now the only other fusion that I can think that we could probably make quite quickly would be a Pokemon that fuses with Mewtwo. So if you remember back to the last 100 days that I did, when we were in the Bamboo Forest, I'm pretty certain we were searching for a Cubfu. We ended up opening up some lucky blocks in which we ended up getting a Kyogre, which we obviously used to fuse with Kyoleki,
And then we also did get ourselves a Mew. Now, this Mew is, of course, going to be used in a cloning chamber right here. And since we've already made a Mewtwo once before with a different Mew, we're going to have to create the cloning chamber once again. And once we do that, we're going to have to hope that we get lucky enough to get ourselves a Mewtwo from the Mew cloning. And then we'll be able to fuse it with another Pokemon to create our third fusion Pokemon. Now, that Pokemon, of course, is a Zeraora. So I think before we clone Mew, let's head out to try and find ourselves a Savannah Plateau. I'm pretty sure it's the biome we need for Zeraora, and see if we can get one to spawn. All right, so I've been told that apparently the biome that we need for Zeraora is extremely difficult to find. And I've asked in the survey if anyone is currently selling a Zeraora, as I'm thinking that might be an easier way to go, since we've been on the server for quite a while, and we have 500k, which is enough to buy pretty much any legendary Pokemon. So I'm thinking what I'll do for now is head down into the mines, mine up all the materials we're going to need for a cloning machine, and obviously all of the blocks that we need. So we're going to need some diamond blocks. And then when we're done with that, we can then just clone Mew, get ourselves a Mewtwo, and then hopefully by that point, someone will have a Zeraora we can buy. If not, we're going to have to go out and find one ourselves. But I think for now, this is probably the best way to go. All right, there we go. So we have mined up all of the materials that we're going to need. We've created our green tank, our orange tank, and now the cloner cord to create ourselves the cloning machine. Now, once again, we will chuck this down upstairs. I think this time I'm going to put it over here, just like so. We will enter in our Mew. And then now all we need to do is just craft up a bunch of diamond blocks, gold blocks, or iron blocks. For this, of course, I am going to be crafting up the diamond blocks. Now, we've got ourselves 3 diamond blocks for each different stages, as obviously you can clone Mew up to 3 different times. We've just got to hope that we get it on the first try. Here we go. So let's enter all 3 of the diamond blocks. We'll wait for the cloning process to be completed. Come on, please. Here we go. Is it... No, a Ditto. No, we don't need any more Dittos, man. No. Right, we're murdering this. Goodbye, Ditto. Oh, and it looks like our Weedle is also evolving. Although I am very glitched right now. What is going on? You can see my arm at the side of my head. Okay, we're going to relog quickly, and then we'll be back. And there we go. Right, let's try again. Let's put Mew in, chuck in the 3 diamond blocks, and wait for the cloning chamber to do its thing. Please give me a Mewtwo. Please, Pixelmon gods. Bless me with a Mewtwo. Please. Yes, come on. We got ourselves a Mewtwo. Now we just need to catch it. Luckily for me, I do have a Master Ball just in case we're going to need it. Let's enter the battle with Mewtwo. Let's go. And there we go. All right, we have caught ourselves the legendary Mewtwo. Let's go. Looks like Weedle still wants to evolve, but the poor thing just can't evolve. He almost took out half our team, though, which was very, very scary. Luckily, we had the Master Ball as a backup just in case, which we unfortunately did have to use there. So let's put Mew away, and now we can bring out Mewtwo, and there we go. Cool, so we have ourselves a Mewtwo, we have ourselves a Moltres. Now all we need to do is find an Entei for the Moltres, and a Zeraora for the Mewtwo. Both of these are legendary Pokemon that aren't going to be too easy to find, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get these. Okay, so I think the first Pokemon that we're going to head out and look for has to be the Entei, because Entei obviously spawns in Extreme Hills biomes, and they're a lot easier to find than the Shattered Savannah Plateau, which is where obviously Zeraora spawns. And Zeraora is an afternoon spawn, which means we've got a lot less time to find it when it hits that time compared to the entire daytime for Entei. And it is nighttime right now, but by the time we find an Extreme Hill biome, hopefully it will be daytime, and we'll sit around... Oh, never mind. As I was saying, they are super, super common. And just like that, we have ended up finding ourselves an Extreme Hills biome. So we just got to wait around here. Like I said, though, it is nighttime, so we might be waiting for a little while. I think I'm just going to sit at the peak just over here. And we're just going to have to AFK, I think. There's not really much else we can do at the moment. So let's just AFK and wait around for an Entei to spawn. Yes! Finally! Come on! Oh my, that took so long. Jeez, let's go! An Entei. I mean, he is also just helicoptering around. I'm not too sure why he's doing that. But the main thing is, we found ourselves an Entei. It's now time to catch this guy
and head over to the fusion chamber. And we've made it over to the fusion machine. It's now time to fuse ourselves an Moltres with an Entei, creating our third fusion Pokemon, meaning we only need one more to get ourselves a legendary crate. So let's get the Eruptres ready to go. So we'll put the Moltres in, and it will put in the Entei, add in the fusion key, and we will be creating Eruptres. Here we go. Yo, look at that. Let's go. He looks so sick. Yo, look at this. Okay, now that is cool. Look at the eyes as well. Yo. Okay, now this is a cool fusion Pokemon. Yo. Now that we have 3 fusion Pokemon, we've already seen Kyleki's signature move, but I think I'm going to go level up Arceus and Eruptres, get them to level 100 so we can see what their signature moves are. Okay, we'll head back home, grab out some rare candies, and we will level up Arceus first. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so Divine Depletion. 120 power and 90 accuracy. The user fuses the energy draining power of one half and the godlike power of its other half to drain opponents of their life force. Now that is a cool move. Let's replace Poison Tail there. There we go. And now we will level up Eruptres. There we go. And boom, Roar of the Inferno. 120 power and 90 accuracy, just like the last move. The user unleashes a ferocious roar, drawing molten lava from within the Earth's crust to attack the opponent. Yo, 2 very, very powerful moves right there. Let's go. I love this one so much. This has got to be one of my favorite ones. Now all that we need to do is head out, try and find ourselves a Savannah Plateau, and try and get a Zeraora to fuse with our Mewtwo. All right, so the next fusion that we need to look for is, of course, going to be either a Zeraora to fuse with our Mewtwo, or we head out and we try and find a different fusion Pokemon. I think depending on which biome I find first will depend on which one I go for next. And of course, we already have a Talonflame here from our random Warzone team, but in order to fuse our Talonflame, we are going to need a Landorus. And unfortunately, I don't think I have a Landorus at the moment. No, so I only unfortunately have Tornadus and Thundurus, which is 2 of the 3, but obviously we need the 3rd one to make that fusion Pokemon. So I'm pretty certain that a Landorus will spawn in, I want to say the Badlands, so like a Mesa biome. So I guess depending on which one we find first, we'll just keep RTPing and hopefully we'll find either a Savannah or a Mesa biome. Oh, I'm pretty sure this is an Aerodactyl. Yes, okay, cool. An Aerodactyl 5-star raid then. I just saw this while I was flying around trying to look for a new biome. We haven't quite found the biome yet, but I figured we'd take on this 5-star raid den, as it can give some pretty good loot. Yo, look at how big Kyoleki is. It's literally bigger than the Dynamaxed Aerodactyl. That's hilarious. With an Electro Web, I think. Nice, big damage. Pretty sure one more Electro Web should take it down here. Come on. And there we go. We've taken it down pretty easily. And nothing really that good there, unfortunately. Let's throw all this away. And I did get a wishing piece, though, so we can pop it in again. Give me... Kyoleki, man. What personal space, dude? Come on. Right, get back in the ball. In the ball. There we go. Personal space, man. Jeez. Ooh, okay. A 4-star again. Okay, let's take this on again. Torrential Current. A 50% HP straight away. Bro, Regieleki just looking like a helicopter out here. What is going on? Okay, cool. We bullied him enough and now he stopped. Oh, we do need to be careful though. Our health is very low. Torrential Current. Come on, he's so low. No. Oh, we lost. Damn. Okay. Well, that's a shame. We will continue looking for the biome then. Hey, amazing. Thank you. There we go. Legend. All right, cool. So Bidoof is my god. Shout out to you, my guy. Thank you very, very much for teleporting me into a Savannah biome. And it looks like he has a giant platform up there as well, which is huge. Let's head on up. There we go. And now we just got to wait for me to actually fly back down again. Okay, cool. So I don't actually know. Let me just check what time Zeraora spawns. Here we go. Okay, so it's in the afternoon. So where is the sun currently? Okay, yeah, it's definitely going up. So we got to wait a little while. When it hits afternoon, we'll just have to wait around here and hope that a Zeraora spawns. So I have just come off of the GTS while I'm waiting for the Zeraora to spawn, and I found a player that was selling 5 uncommon Lucky Blocks. So
So obviously you already know I love opening the lucky blocks, so I had to purchase that real quick. Now, while we wait, I guess we can open up some lucky blocks, see if we get anything good. All right, cool. So let's open up one of our uncommon Great Ball lucky blocks. Come on, give me something good. A shiny coughing. Okay, never mind. It's fine. We've still got 4 more. Come on, please. Yo, a shiny Mimikyu. We definitely have to catch that. Yo! Okay, come on. Give me something else good. Boom! Hey, oh. Let's open up another one. Hey, oh. A shiny Scatterbug. Yeah, no. Come on. Teapot. And then finally, let's open up our last one. Come on. A bee barrel. A bee barrel. Never mind. Well, yeah. I mean, we got a shiny Mimikyu, guys. Like, come on. We got to be a bit excited about the shiny Mimikyu. I'm not even going to bother catching these shiny Pokemon because we can't even use them for fusion Pokemon. So there's literally 0 point me having them. Okay, it looks like the sun is starting to head down now. So I'm assuming any time from now, the Zeraora should be able to spawn. So we're just going to have to hope that we get one. I mean, the platforms are always a great area to find legendaries because there's so many spawns up on these platforms, as you can see. But obviously, it is a legendary Pokemon, so I'm not sure how easy it is going to be to find. Come on, please, man. I don't think that I'm going to get it this time, unfortunately. We've got a little bit more time left, but it's not looking good. And I think while it becomes nighttime, I'm going to just head out and look for a Mesa biome as well, because then if I find a Mesa biome, we'll have both the biomes we need. And if I'm not mistaken, let's just check where Landorus spawns. Okay, so it looks like he spawns during the morning, which is perfect for me because I can be here in the afternoon and then over there in the morning. And then hopefully I can get a Zeraora and a Landorus as quick as possible. And unfortunately, I'm pretty certain that is the end of the afternoon period. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a Zeraora this time. So I think I'm just going to head back out on Arsenatus and search for the Mesa biome. Hey, finally! Holy! Mesa biomes are always the worst to find, but luckily we have found one, finally. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we made it in perfect time as well, as the moon is currently setting down, and that's going to mean it's going to be morning, which means Landorus has a good chance of spawning. Okay, come on. The sun is rising up, please. Especially since Landorus spawns in the air, it's got a lot higher of a chance of spawning than other legends that spawn on the floor, as there's not many birds that will spawn around in the Mesa biome, so there's quite a good chance Landorus will spawn. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like we've gotten it to spawn this time. No, it doesn't look like we're going to get it, unfortunately, guys. So we're going to head back over to the Savannah biome and hunt for Zeraora once again. Yo, look at this Blaziken that this guy's showing off to me right now. Oh, that's such a shame. When it mega evolves, it loses its texture. That would look so cool as a mega Pokemon. I want to say that's probably like a shadow Blaziken. Oh, no, it's a zombie Blaziken. Yo, that's sick. And he's flexing his Gracias. All right, it's time to show him the beast itself. Look at this Arsenatus, bro. So not only does he have an Arsenatus as well, but it's 10 times bigger than mine. It's fun. We have this giant lad right here. Ioleki, look at this beast. Doesn't know anything about personal space. This shrimp-looking guy just keeps on pushing everything around. And he has a Dragon Ninja as well. Yo! This man has so many fusion Pokemon. I remember when we used our Dragon Ninja. What a goat. And he has a Swamp Ogre. Let's show him our Eruptres as well. Look at this. Yo! And he has a Mutini. I feel like this guy's just trying to flex all of his fusions on me. Little does he know that we have a full box of fusion Pokemon. Obviously, we won't get them out right now, but that's still awesome to see that this guy's got all these fusion Pokemon. Come on, man. Unfortunately, again, we're in afternoon and still nothing has spawned. Bro, this is so annoying. It's taking so long to find this. We only have a limited amount of time to find all of these Pokemon, so I can't spend too much time on a single Pokemon. So I'm going to have to move on from Zeraora and head back over to the Mesa biome and hopefully find Landorus tomorrow. Yo, no way. It's about to become daytime and I've just found a Mega Boss Houndoom. Yo. All right. Let's try and take this on real quick. It is a level 130, but I've got a feeling that Kyoleki will be able to deal with this quite easily. There we go. Torrential Current, and this is going to be a done deal, I think. There we go. Come on. Give me something good. A Lucky Egg, XP Candy. I mean, I'll take that. It's not the best, but I'll take it definitely. Oh, no. It's glitched my game again. No. Jump back on the ground on server. Okay, right, we're back. We didn't miss morning. That's good. Okay, we just need to hope now that Lander spawns. I was told that apparently there's a better chance of it spawning when I am floating around in the air. So I'm going to just jump on Arsenatus and sort of just float around and hope that it reduces the spawns on the floor and increases the spawns in the air. I'm pretty sure that's what the guys have told me on the server. So I'm hoping that pays off. Wait. Yo. Oh, yes, there it is. Let's go. Come on. Okay, we just need to get in a fight with this. It's going to be very difficult because Arsenatus is huge. No, not that time. Come on, man. We finally actually found it. This is huge. Okay, we're pushing it. This is not what we want to be doing, though. Come on, up. No, I'm not going up. No. Okay, come on. We got this. Yes. Okay, we got it. Okay, good. Holy. Okay, oh my. We took that across the biomes. We're in a swamp biome now, but we have managed to encounter the Landorus. Come on. All right, there we go. So we caught ourselves a Landorus, and we have our Talonflame. Now it's time to head over to the fusion machine and create Talorus. There we go. The fusion between Landorus and Talonflame. Add in the fusion key. And let's create Talorus. Yo, look at that. Yo, his face is a little bit derpy, but he is awesome. Let's go. Yo, he's a little bit derpy, but still, any fusion is a sick fusion in my eyes. Let's go. And you guys already know what that means. Now that we have 4 different fusions in Kyoleki, Arsenatus, Eruptrez, and of course, our new one, Talorus. Obviously, we're being pushed around because this guy has no limits. Doesn't know a single bit of personal space. Like, bruh, stop pushing me around. But anyways, so we now have our 4 fusions. You guys remember before, I did say if we got 4 different fusion Pokemon, we would be able to give ourselves a legendary crate key. In order to try and get a legendary shiny convert to create a shiny Celesteela to get ourselves another shiny fusion Pokemon. So I think all that's left to do now is head over to the crates and open up our legendary crate key. Bro, this is insane. Okay, he's giving me an Elytra and some fireworks as well. Okay, he's asking me to follow him. Right, let's try and get up there. Okay, I've overshot it big time. Here we go. No. Okay, we did it. Yo, look at this, man. Yo. Death Star looking build that he's doing in the end. Holy, this is so cool. Going all the way down. Yo, look at this place. Okay, now I feel like he's just jailed me. There we go, we're out. Yo, jeez, look at this place, man. A massive fossil room. Now this is a very, very sick base. He has so many layers. I don't understand how people can make bases like this. Like you can see, like compared to an end island down here, and then you have this. It's almost as big as an end island, and this man has built it himself. Like, massive shout out to Adrian Psyduck. Jeez, this is insane. And now he wants to show off another base. I can't lie, I'm actually quite happy that he's around right now because obviously we're searching for Serra Aura right now, and it's taking so long to find it. Okay, so we're at the end portal right now. I'm assuming he's going to take me somewhere. So he's got the portal. Okay. Oh, we're going down. That's hilarious. We've got all of the Mega Stones here as well. Holy. This guy is crazy. Oh, we are missing one, though. Oh, I guess it's Rayquaza. He doesn't actually have a Mega Stone. So technically, he has actually got all of them here. This is crazy. Got all of our... I want to see these are flutes and then also shards here. Got all the relic stuff, all of the Z crystals, all of the what are these? The Silvally discs, like I don't know what they're called, but the memories, I think. All the gems, all of the Arceus plates. This is and we got diorite. Does not have a plate. A little bit of diorite here, but this is insane. This is genuinely so cool. Obviously, if you guys do want to check out these sort of things and hang out with me on the server, make sure to join up. It is on the Groudon server that I'm playing currently, and you could have a chance to be featured in one of the videos and show off your amazing bases, just like Psyduck is right now, because this
It is crazy, and it definitely deserves the recognition that it's getting right now. Yo, this is sick. He's even got the armor stands encased in glass. Honestly, this guy is mad. If I ever need to be, like, if I ever need a builder to help me build a base, I'm definitely going to come to this guy. These are crazy. Although I'm pretty happy with my base at the moment, to be fair, but this is on another level. Like, what is going on right now? This is crazy. There we go. Okay, cool. So we've just finished hanging out with Agent Psyduck here, and he's gave me a bunch of new drip. Obviously, we've got ourselves an Elytra that has the Pokeball texture on the back. We've got our running boots, and he also gave me a crown that he named Wilson's Crown, which is hilarious. I've also just given him a random combination of armor that I want to have in this armor area, as he told me that if I gave him a random set, he'd be able to put me in the Hall of Armor, which is super cool. And there it is. My random little combination of armor. Look at that. It's so sick. It's so cool just to hang out with you guys on the server. I absolutely love it. The Wilson drip. There we go. Massive shout out though to Agent Psyduck. What a legend for showing me off his base. But unfortunately, good times always must come to an end. We are going to have to head back out and try and find that Zeraora. Okay. So, obviously, we did indeed get ourselves 4 different fusion Pokemon. Now, I completely forgot about this because it is a new day for me, and I'm recording again, obviously. And obviously, it is a new day for me, and last time I recorded, we obviously caught all 4 of our fusion Pokemon. When I only had 2, I did say if we managed to get 4 fusion Pokemon, I was going to open a legendary crate. Now, if we look inside the legendary crate, obviously it does have a bunch of really good stuff in here, but what we're looking for here is the legendary shiny convert. Now, we just gotta hope that we get lucky enough to get it, or at least get ourselves some sort of like legendary or shiny would be awesome. If not, we are gonna have to make just a normal Celesteela fusion, and it won't be a shiny one, which would really suck, but it's still a fusion nonetheless. Okay, here we go. Let's open up our legendary crate. Come on, please. Yes! There's no way. There's no way. Yes! There's no way I actually just got that. Yes! A legendary shiny convert and a legendary resize. That's exactly what we needed. Let's go, baby. Okay, there we go. Right, let's open up the Celesteela. Okay, so let's put it to the top of the pie. I'm not sure how it actually quite works, but let's claim our legendary shiny convert on the Celesteela, and boom, we now have our shiny Celesteela. I know it doesn't look like a lot right now, but let's go down here. Let's head into the fusion machine, put in our... Oh, we do need a Beedrill, actually. I just realized, no, what am I doing? Okay, hang on. Let's evolve Weedle up. Here we go. Weedle, my son, please evolve. Okay, now, so we have evolved up our Beedrill. Now we can go back into the fusion machine, and let's do take 2. Shiny Celesteela and shiny Beedrill. Put in the fusion key, and we get ourselves Steela. Here we go. Come on. I'm really hoping this is a cool shiny. Come on, please. Yo, look at that. The blue. Okay, normally that is actually a yellow color, so that is so cool. Let's throw him out. Yo, look at that. This is so sick. Oh, I'm very happy that I turned this one into a shiny. Look at that. Let's go. We're back on the Savannah platform, and I'm still not very hopeful for finding this Zeraora in the afternoon. I can't lie, guys. I may have to cave and start buying stuff off the shop or on the GTS. See if I can get, like, anything that I'll be able to use. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find anything that I'll be able to use, but I am as sure as hell going to give it a go. I mean, at the end of the day, this whole video is all about fusion Pokemon, and the main aim is to make the fusion Pokemon. If we can't get the Pokemon we need to spawn to make the fusion Pokemon, it's going to be very, very difficult. And I know everyone's going to be like, oh no, you can't buy stuff. I know. I shouldn't really, but I might have to. We'll see how this afternoon goes. I mean, I've been here a lot recently. Like, we're just burning through the days. Okay. It's fine. We'll stay strong. We got this. We got this, guys. We got this. I don't mean to fly that. Don't put that in. We got this, guys. Come on. Oh, no. I'm not looking forward to this. I can't lie. Oh, no. I don't think I'm going to get it this time, guys. It's becoming... The sun is starting to set. That means afternoon is over. Still no Zeraora, guys. I can't lie. I'm getting very, very tempted. We only have 100 days here, so there's not a lot of time. We're already about halfway through, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am very, very tempted to go onto the shop and buy myself some more crate keys, Because if I can open up more legendary crates... Oh, no, we're falling off. Never mind. Because if we can open up more legendary crates, we have a chance of getting a random legendary and also specific legendaries of our choice. Now, if we get one of those, we can obviously claim a Zeraora. Then we don't have to keep searching for it and wasting all of our time here. And I'm thinking that's probably going to be the best idea. If not, I might just buy a bunch of lucky blocks off of players on the server and see if I can use those to open up and get Zeraora. I mean, we'll just see, but I'm sure it'll work out. Okay. Look, listen. Okay, listen, guys, listen. All right, I know. You're like, why is he at the crates? Why is he... Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry, guys. I caved in. I bought some more legendary crate keys. I know. I can see the comments now. I can't believe you've bought legendary crates. You failed us. What have you done? What have you done? No. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I failed. I had to. I need to get this Zeraora, and I need to get it quickly. And this is the only way I could think of doing it. I asked on the server. No one's selling any lucky blocks right now. You go on the GTS. For some reason, there's only a Celesteela on there. I'm not sure why, but there is only a Celesteela on there. I'm pretty sure there's more. I think it might just be bugged, but there's no lucky blocks, which means we don't have the chance of getting ourselves a legendary Pokemon. And the only other thing to do right now is to buy more legendary crates. So yes, we have gone ahead and bought more legendary crates. We have 4 legendary crate keys to open up with these. Now, I'm pretty certain... There you go. So, shiny legendary of choice. We can get a fusion key. We don't need that, though, because we have loads. Legendary of choice. There's a bunch of really cool stuff in here. So, we've just got to hope that we get something good here. Fingers crossed. Okay, right. Opening up the very first one. Here we go. Come on, legendary crate, please. Oh, yes. Let's go. Another shiny convert. Let's go. Legendary nature change, a shiny convert, and a legendary resize. That is actually huge. That means we can now turn another one of our fusion Pokemon into a shiny legendary fusion. Okay. Time to open up our next legendary crate. Come on, please give us something good. We need the legendary of choice. Please give us a legendary of choice. No, a legendary resize and a random shiny legendary. Bruh, no, okay, that's good. But it might not be the Zeraora. Okay, come on. Right, come on. Please. A random shiny legendary again. Oh, no. Okay. And we've got 2 chances at a good legendary Pokemon. Okay, and now we have 1 more legendary key left. Let's open it up. Good luck, come on! A random legendary IV boost. We didn't get the specific legendary. That's such a shame, man. Time to do the random shiny legendary paper. Come on. We've got some guys watching us. We have a little audience here. Come on, please. Give me something good. Oh no. A Ho-Oh. That is a big L. We got ourselves a shiny Ho-Oh. We don't even need a Ho-Oh, though. No. Okay, and finally, our last random shiny legendary. Please be something good. Come on. A shiny Heatran. That is such a shame. No. Oh, that's gross, man. No, it wasn't worth it, guys. What have I done? No way. That is not ideal, man. Oh, well, I mean, I guess we're going to be back to just searching for Zeraora. I might go do something else while we wait. And then eventually we will have this guy spawn. Okay, look. While I'm waiting for Zeraora to pop back up, I can't lie. I have got my Arsenators right now. I'm really tempted to make him super tiny and just see how small he becomes. Or make him ginormous. I think I'm going to go with the tiny one. So let's make him microscopic and see what he looks like. This might be hilarious. Oh, he's so cute. Look at how small he is. This is actually quite surprising for a fusion Pokemon because normally they're absolutely huge. Although microscopic Arsenators is still massive compared to some of the wild Pokemon. But it's still quite funny. Look at this little guy. Aww. Oh my, yes. Oh, yes, finally, yes. Holy, let's go. Come on, I can't believe we actually found it finally. Oh my, it's been so long. Yo, let's go. Come on. Holy. And there we go. All right, we caught it in the quick ball pretty quickly. Now let's head home. I need to see the Zeraora. Holy. Finally, man. Oh, it's been so long. There he is. Yes. Finally. Come on. Oh, you guys don't understand how long I've waited for this Zeraora. It's been
so long trying to find this thing. Oh my. Woo. Okay, well, now that we've got that bad boy, we can now grab out, we'll put the Milotic away for a minute, we'll grab out Mewtwo, and we're gonna head straight back over to the fusions area. Okay, right, let's head into the fusion machine. Let's add in our Zeraora. Let's add in our Mewtwo, add the fusion key, and there we go. Meraora. Let's create this bad boy. Come on. Honestly, this one feels so good to be creating after how long it's taken us to find Zeraora. He looks so good. Yes. Yo, look at this. I mean, his face is kind of derpy. I'm not really sure what's going on in his forehead up there with those little Mewtwo ears that he's got, but other than that, and his weird little alien fingers, but apart from that, this guy is awesome. Honestly, this one makes me the happiest just because of how long it took us to find a Zeraora. And with that, we now have our full team of fusion Pokemon. Let's go. Let's grab all of them out. We obviously have Beastila, we have Meraora, we have our Talarus, Eruptrez, Arsenatus, who's a little tiny boy now. Let's get him out. There you are, sir. And, of course, the big personal space issues, Kyoleki. Yo, I'm so in love with all these fusions. Oh, I can't get enough of them, and I'm happy you guys enjoy them too, because these videos are so much fun to make. Right, here we go. So we now need to grab out our Milotic as well. So we'll drop off Meraora for now, I think. The Pokemon that we're going to need to fuse with our Milotic is, of course, a Latias. And Latias is a pretty rare spawn, and it spawns in the ocean biome. Although... Milotic, please. So I think what I'm going to do is just sit around in the ocean biome on the Milotic for a little while, and then just hope that one spawns eventually. I also did get a little baby Giratina to sit on my head as well. A guy called Bidoof is my god gave to me, so shout out to him for that. But these baby Pokemon are so cute. So if you do want to see me do a video on these, make sure to let me know. And it looks like the Latias only spawns in the morning, in a warm ocean or just an ocean biome. So I'm pretty certain, yeah, so it has just turned nighttime. So we're just going to wait around here and wait till the morning time, but I'm not too confident on this turn round. I'm just going to hang around here for a little while, and maybe eventually I'll get one to spawn. Yo, there's a mega boss at Gyarados there. Let's go. Right, we're going to try and fight this thing. I have pulled out a different team from my PC just to try and take this thing on, as it is a level 150. Come on. Although I don't even know if I'm going to need the extra Pokemon. Kyoleki's almost defeated it on his own. Okay, come on. Right, let's go into Dragon Ninja here, and let's go for Draconic Kunai. Oh, it's low. Come on, 4%, and I'm frozen. No. Okay, Hydrosaur maybe. Let's go for Tri-Beam Cannon, and there we go. We defeated the Mega Boss Gyarados. And it also looks like we are dying now, so let's swim up to the top. Looks like we also got a Rusted Shield as well, which I'm pretty sure you use for a Zamazenta. All right. It's becoming morning now, so let's just hang around here. And we might hopefully get a Latias to spawn. Come on, please. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like any Latias are spawning on this morning. So we're going to have to find something else to do, and we will come back to this a little bit later on. So while I'm waiting for the Latias to spawn, obviously, since it doesn't spawn in the water, I figured it might be a cool idea to just make myself a giant platform out in the ocean that I can just sit on. So I'll grab out all of my dirt, and I'll head out to try and make a little platform. Hopefully, that'll give me a better chance of Latias spawning. Obviously, it might not change a single thing, but it's always worth a try, especially since we've got time before it becomes morning again. So I'm not going to make it too big. I'm just going to use up all the dirt that I have and hope that that helps me get the spawn. And there we go. All right, so we've made ourselves a little platform here. It is now turning nighttime, so we've just got to wait out the night, and hopefully we'll get something better to spawn. I'm not even sure if this is going to help me, but we've done it anyway, so let's just hope that we get a Latias to spawn on the next morning rotation. Yo! All right, that's pretty sick. It's not a Latias, but we just got a Dragonite to spawn. I don't even think I'm going to be able to catch up to him, but that is so cool. That is like an ultra rare spawn as well. The platform clearly is working. It's just a matter of time to see if a Latias spawns on it, though, because I'm pretty sure Latias spawns up in the sky. So if it doesn't work this time, I might just fly around on one of my Pokemon and hope that I can get it to spawn by being up in the air as well. So that you guys aren't just sort of sat around waiting for me to try and get this Latias to spawn. It's been quite a few mornings now, so I've decided I'm just going to open up myself a couple lucky blocks. So I got myself 2 common lucky blocks, 2 uncommon lucky blocks, and of course a rare lucky block, which is guaranteed to give me a legendary Pokemon.
Now, we can hope that we get lucky and get ourselves a Latias through this, but either way, I just love opening up the lucky blocks, and I figured you guys would love to see it too, so I got myself a couple to open up. Let's obviously start off with a common lucky block. Here we go. Let's place them both down, and let's open them up. Come on, please. A Vespa Queen and an Aurorus. That is disgusting. No, we don't like those. Okay, so let's open up 2 uncommon lucky blocks. Come on, please. Give me something good. A shiny Popplio. Okay. And a shiny Nincada. Ooh, I guess. I mean, I'll catch them anyway, but they're not that cool. That's a bit of an L, to be honest. And now, of course, it's time to open up the rare lucky block. Come on, please. I just want a Pokemon that I'm able to fuse with. That would be absolutely huge. Come on, please, game. Give me something good. Yeah, a Manaphy. Yeah, no. Okay. There's a Manaphy, I guess. That was a massive L. Well, we had a little bit of fun with the lucky blocks there, but nothing really that good, to be honest. Wait, yes! Okay, come on. Let's fly around on our Galaxy Lugia. Come on. Yes! Come on. Finally. A Latias. Let's go. That is so huge. And if you're wondering where, of course, I got that amazing looking Galaxy Lugia from, I managed to get it in my 24-hour challenge where I opened up a God lucky block. Now, if you do want to see that, make sure to go check out that video. But without further ado, let's catch ourselves a Latias. And here we go. We have caught ourselves a Latias. We have our Milotic as well. Let's head into the fusion machine and create our 7th fusion of this 100 days. Add in the Latias, add in the Milotic, add in the fusion key, and let's create Milias? Let's create Milias. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm apologizing if I've butchered that completely, but we're going with Milias. Yo, look at that. Let's get it out. There we go. Look at how cool that is. Yo. Definitely one of the more underwhelming fusions that I've made so far, but nonetheless, still an amazing fusion Pokemon that I can add to my team. And now that we have a bunch of new fusion Pokemon, we have 3 different ones that we still need to level up and figure out what their signature move is. So let's head over to the training area and we'll level all these guys up to level 100 and check out their new signature moves. And there we go. All right, so we've got Beastealer's new signature move called Celestial Sting. It does 50 power and 90 accuracy, so not actually too powerful on this one. The user transfers a portion of its celestial energy into each of its stingers, causing them to rapidly pierce any opponent. I'm wondering if maybe this is like a multiple hitting move, potentially. We'll have to try it out. And there we go. We now have Meraura's signature move as well in Flash Step. 70 power and 100 accuracy. The user races around its opponent at breakneck speeds, inflicting damage while simultaneously boosting its own speed. So a pretty powerful electric type move nonetheless. And finally, we have Milias with Aquatic Blessings. It looks like this one might be a healing move. We've got 100 accuracy, blessed by the power of the lake, and is able to heal itself. And it looks like it's able to cure itself as well from any status conditions. So that's actually pretty strong. I'm assuming it's just a full healing move, so I would definitely be taking that. And there we go. All right, so we have leveled up all of our Pokemon now to level 100. And that is now 7 fusion Pokemons for this 400 days in Fusion Pixelmon, including Eruptrez, Milias, Meraura, Beastealer, Taurus, Arsenatus, and of course, Kyaleki. Now, there's one more fusion that I want to try and get before we finish this 100 days, and that, of course, involves 2 Pokemon by the name of Xerneas and Zacian. Now, in order to get these 2, I'm pretty certain they both spawn in forest biomes or dark oak forests. So we're going to head out into those biomes and try and find both those Pokemon before we finish this 100 days. I am going to also head to the Warzone very soon, just to see if we can get any legendaries to spawn in there as well. All right, there we go. So we've got our Warzone team. Let's do /Warzone. And let's enter into the Warzone. Now, of course, you guys obviously know the drill with the Warzone. I accidentally only put a minute on, but I am going to be in here for 10 minutes as I'll come back in afterwards. But obviously, you guys know the drill. When I fight another player, if I lose, I will end up losing one of my Pokemon. So we've got to be very careful in here to try and find all the Pokemon we can and get out as quick as possible. And there we go. All right, so we're back in the Warzone. We have 10 minutes on the clock. Let's see if we can find anything cool. Or more specifically, a legendary Pokemon, including Zacian or a Xerneas. Obviously, if we do end up finding another legendary Pokemon that we can fuse, we'll change up and we'll go for that fusion Pokemon. but for the time being, I want to try and get myself a Zacian and a Xerneas. Now listen. While we're sat inside of the war zone right now, waiting for a legendary of some sort to spawn, I will get you guys in on a little secret. Now, I know a lot of you guys are always very curious to know what my next video is going to be, especially the guys on the server, always asking me what I am recording currently. Now, I've got a couple videos in mind. As you can see on the top of my head right here, there is a baby legendary Giratina. Now, on the server, we do have a baby legendary Pokemon. So one of my video ideas is to survive 100 days with baby Pokemon only. Another video idea that I want to do as well is surviving 100 days with only Generation 9 Pokemon. So if you've seen this and made it this far into the video, make sure you comment down below and let me know what you would prefer right now, 100 days with baby Pokemon or 100 days with only Generation 9 Pokemon. And of course, thank you for making it this far into the video. Oh, also, yeah, I forgot to say, don't forget to subscribe as well and also like the video. Yeah. Cool. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Come on, legendary. Come on, legendary. Come on, legendary. Please spawn on me. It doesn't look like I'm going to find anything this time. 10 seconds left in the war zone. We've had loads of awesome spawns, but no legendary Pokemon. So we're heading out to the war zone now. I think it's time to head out, try and find the biomes we need, and find this Zacian and Xerneas to finish off the 100 days. Perfect. So I've RTP'd into the correct biome. It looks like Zacian spawns in any forest biome and during the daytime, which is exactly where we are right now, which is huge. Again, though, I don't know how easy it's going to be to find this guy. I know Zacian and Zamazenta are more of the common legendaries that do spawn, but I don't know how easy this is going to be to find. Oh, man. A Wormadam? I mean, I'll take it on anyway. Wait. Yo, I see. Wait, do you guys see that? Bottom right. Yo, wait, there's a Zacian right there. Yo, I didn't even notice. I was too busy being distracted by a Wormadam. Right, we need to take this out quickly. Come on. Big damage. All right, come on, Wormadam. Don't stop me from catching a Zacian, please. Come on. Yep, Zacian, go down to the giant Togepi. Come on, Flare Blitz, and finish it off, please. There we go. All right, we've taken down the Wormadam. We don't care about any of it. Okay, no, you know what? Thank you, Wormadam, because you've just given me a Park Ball. Now, if you guys don't know what a Park Ball is, well, I mean, essentially, I can catch any Pokemon I want straight away. It's basically a Master Ball, and I'm taking it. I ain't going to complain. Let's catch a Zacian. Let's go. And there we go. All right, we've caught ourselves a Zacian. Look at this beast. Let's go. All we need to do is catch a Xerneas, fuse it with this guy right here, get him up to level 100, get the signature move, and then we have completed our 400 days in Pixelmon Fusions. Hello, Earthworm. He's such a funky little guy. I definitely want to be catching one of these at some point. Generation 9 Pixelmon 100 days. It's got to happen. Oh, but on the bright side, we have now found ourselves a Dark Oak Forest. I don't know how long it's going to take to find a Xerneas, but that is the last thing that we need to do in this 100 days. So let's get to it. Hey, and there we go. Xerneas, the legendary Pokemon, has been found. Let's go. And here we go. Our final fusion Pokemon for this 100 days. We have, of course, our Xerneas and our Zacian. Let's put them both into the fusion machine and create our last fusion, Zacius. Zacian in that side, Xerneas in this side. And here we go. Yo, yes! Zacius, look at this beast. One of the original fusion Pokemon. And here is the beast himself. Look at this majestic Pokemon fusion right here. Yo! And there we go. All right, Zacius has its signature move, Fairy King's Cry. The King of Fairies unleashes a mighty roar, summoning all the courage from the life forms around him so that he may protect his people. It looks like this move is a protect type move, which is a bit sad, unfortunately. I thought it was going to be some super strong fairy move, but nonetheless, it's still an awesome signature move, and we will take that. And with that, we have now completed our 400 days in Pixelmon Fusions. Obviously, we have all of these guys right here, our amazing new Pokemon Fusions. There's not too many more left to go, and we've almost completed every single Pokemon Fusion in SMASHMC, which is amazing. Hopefully, we'll be able to get another 500 days out of this, and then finish it off by having every single Fusion Pokemon in Minecraft Pixelmon. Today, I'm going to be spending 500 days in the long-awaited Fusion Pixelmon. Now, this video has been highly anticipated on the channel, as you guys love the Fusion videos, so let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. It's been a little while since we last left the doors of this house right here. Now, since we last played, there's been a couple new additions to the Fusion team. So we're going to go through our PC and see if we have any Pokemon that we can use straight away to fuse with other Pokemon. So there are a couple Pokemon that we're going to be looking for in this video. We already have 3 Pokemon that we need to make fusion Pokemon. We just need to find the counterparts for each of them. Now we're going to have to head out and try and find ourselves a Lapras. So let's head into the water and see what we can find. Okay, so it looks like Lapras spawns anywhere in the ocean at dawn and dusk. So it looks like we've just missed it for now, but when it gets to dusk, we will head out and look for a Lapras. So while I'm waiting, I figured I'd show off this scroll right here. While we are waiting for it to become dusk, let's head out and find some rock-type Pokemon. There we go. Okay, so we've defeated the 10 rock-type Pokemon. We've walked all the blocks we need to. We just need to wait for this to tick up to 60 minutes of playtime, and that is that completed. So I've just headed back home as I remembered that I actually do have a Pokemon that can fuse with Pumpkaboo, which of course is the Dino right here. 72%. Perfect. So yeah, this is the guy that we want. Pumpkaboo plus Dino. Now, you can probably imagine how awesome this fusion's going to look. And it's very fitting as well for around the time of Halloween. We also have our 8 rare candies here, so let's go ahead and use those. Cool, so Dino's evolving into Zweilos, and then we'll get him up into our Hydreigon. Hey, okay, so we've managed to use all of our XP candies and rare candies to evolve the Zweilos into a Hydreigon, which means we can already get our first fusion Pokemon between Pumpkaboo and Hydreigon. So let's head over to the machine and create this Halloween beast of a Pokemon. So we have made it to the fusion chamber. Let's waste no more time. Put in, so there it is, the Hydrageist. Pumpkaboo plus Hydreigon. Put in the fusion key, and there we go. Let's create this little beast. Let's take the little Pumpkaboo and the Hydreigon and turn them into this. Oh my. Holy. Look at this. Yo, he's huge. What? Oh my god. Look at that. Now, if that isn't a Halloween Pokemon, I don't know what is. This thing looks insane. Oh my gosh. So while we wait for it to become dusk still, we've got a little bit more time and a bunch of... Wait, what? Okay, so some Gen 9 Pokemon have models, but some are just 2D pixels. Oh my god, it's like the Chi-Yu. Shout out to anyone that knows about the Chi-Yu. If you know, you know. So as it's coming down to dusk, I just want to quickly look on the GTS, see if there's anything in here that we could go ahead and purchase to help us with our fusion journey. Okay, so I have gone... Oh, hang on. Let me just fix my poster. There we go. Shout out to Agent Psyduck for this amazing poster that's been on this door for a long time. I managed to get myself a rare lucky block, 5 uncommon lucky blocks, and 3 common blocks. Ah, no, we need a boat. Quick, quick, quick. Let's go get ourselves a boat, and then we can head out onto the waters and hopefully find ourselves a Lapras. Come on, Lapras. Where are you? Ah, it doesn't look like I'm going to get a Lapras this time. Ah, that's such a pain. I was really hoping it was going to be quite easy to find one because they are actually not too uncommon, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a Lapras tonight. Well, on the bright side, we can open up our lucky blocks and see if we can get ourselves maybe even a Lapras in a lucky block would be hilarious. And let's go ahead and open up our lucky blocks. So we'll go with a common one first. Come on. A Blitzel. Okay. Next one. Execute is all right. And finally, a Tangrowth. Nothing we can use, unfortunately. Ooh, a shiny Fennekin. Okay, there we go. Let's grab up the shiny Fennekin. Next up, we've got a shiny Beedrill. Fine. Nothing amazing, though. Let's do the next one. A shiny Murkrow. Okay. Next one up. Shiny Hitmonchan. And finally, let's open up our final uncommon lucky block, which is a shiny Crabominable, which is not here. Well, I guess
Let's open up our rare lucky block. And fingers crossed, we get something good. Come on. Yo, a Zacian. You know what? I'll take it. Zacian is a very, very strong Pokemon. It's becoming the time where Lapras will end up spawning. So let's just head out and see if we can find one.
2 hours later.
It doesn't look like we're going to get a Lapras again. Such a pain. I guess we will come back to this one every single night that we possibly can, and hopefully we will find one soon. So I figured I would ask around on the server and try and sell some of my legendary Pokemon because they don't have any fusions that I actually need. So I figured maybe we just sell them and hopefully get something good in return. Okay, so it looks like we're going to do a trade with Mr. Knight. Let's TPA to Mr. Knight. He wants my shiny Heatran and he is going to give me a Kyurem. There we go. Perfect. So let me just Pokey gift Mr. Knight, number 6. There we go. Thank you very much, Mr. Knight. I really, really appreciate it. Let's go. And finally, we have Ronald McDonald, apparently. Sent him the 50k, and he has sent me a Necrozma. Thank you very much. Okay, so you may be wondering why I want these two Pokemon in particular. Because they don't actually fuse with any of the Pokemon that we currently have on the team. If we head over to the Warp Fusions, I want to show you guys what fusions we have, because there are some very special ones in here that I want to share with you guys. And I am so excited to get my hands on. So one of my new favorite fusion Pokemon is a Pokemon right here called Rayquaza. Now, if you look at this guy, he looks absolutely insane. And he's definitely someone I want to get my hands on. Necrozma and Rayquaza fused together is an OP fusion. Next up, we have Gyurem right here, which is Kyurem Black plus Reshiram. So this fusion takes up 3 different Pokemon, and I figured it'd be the best idea to buy these Pokemon as soon as possible when they pop up, because with 3 legendary Pokemon in one singular fusion, it's either going to be super OP or just extremely expensive to buy. The best plan of action now is to get started on another Pokemon that we need to get. The Pokemon that we are looking for is, of course, a Zapdos. Now, let's make the Orb of Static Souls perfect. In order to fill this orb up and get ourselves a Zapdos, we need to get 375 more KOs. So this one's going to take a little while, but I mean, we might as well get at it while we're waiting for a Lapras to spawn. Hey, finally! Come on! Let's go! We finally get the Lapras. Let's go ahead, enter the battle with this guy, and let's throw the Quick Ball. Wow, he actually broke free from that. I'm very surprised. Normally, the Quick Ball works pretty quickly, but I mean, come on, Lapras. Just join the team. You know you want to get fused. Hey, there we go. We caught ourselves the Lapras. Now, without further ado, let's grab out our fusion key, and let's head over to Warp Fusions once again to create our second fusion of this 100 days. There we go. Okay, let's chuck in this guy and this guy. Ooh, actually, I'm just thinking, because our Torterra is a shiny, is it worth us waiting and trying to get a shiny Lapras as well? I don't think we have any... Okay, we have a legendary shiny convert. That's not quite what we needed, but, you know, I'll take it. Let's go back to our home and let's see if we have any shiny converts, because if we do, we can use that on the Lapras real quick and turn it into a shiny. Oh, okay. So we have a legendary shiny convert, which we could use on Lapras to then have a shiny Lapras and a shiny Torterra, but I don't know if it's worth it doing it on a Lapras. Yo, wait, why is he all stinky? That aura makes him look like a smelly Breloom. Well, I mean, I guess. Hey, and he just gifted me the stinky Breloom as well. Hey, thank you very much, Punda. Shout out to you, my guy. I really appreciate it. Although he doesn't know this right now, but I'm really sorry, Punda. But yeah, it's kind of a fusion video, so can't be using the Breloom, and he's throwing me a bunch of stuff. Thank you very much, bro. I really do appreciate it. Okay, what we're going to do, as I can use Legendary Shiny Converts on the actual fusion Pokemon, we're going to just fuse these Pokemon together for now. And then obviously if we want to make it into a fusion that's shiny, we always can do for the same price as just making the Lapras shiny. So let's go ahead, put them both in here, add the fusion key, and boom, let's create our second fusion Pokemon. Here we go. And there we go. We have Laprera, one of the OG fusion Pokemon. I think this might be in the first batch of the fusion Pokemon that were created as well. So very, very, very cool to see. I think the next plan of action is to be getting the Orb of Static Souls up to full amount, which is 367 more KOs. So I wonder if I can head over to the training area. If by fighting the trainers, it will actually defeat the Pokemon. So I'm going to give it a quick test because if we can level up our team at the same time, which is going to be amazing. Okay, so we took out one. That's painful enough. And it's 367, so it doesn't actually count, unfortunately. That does suck. But not to worry, we can just head out and try and find a bunch of wild Pokemon to defeat. So I had my uncommon scroll in my inventory for a little while, and turns out it was completed. I forgot to hit record, but these are the rewards that I managed to get for it. So I got 3,000 Pokédollars, 5 XP large candies, 5 large XP candies again, and a specific Pokemon paper. Now, that is actually kind of huge because if we need a Pokemon, for example, like Tyranitar, that is used in a fusion, we could just go ahead and claim this. So, I mean, let's do it. Reward claim, Tyranitar. There we go. Let's see if we can claim it as a Mega. No, we can't do that. Rip. Boom. Well, there we go. I mean, we've just got ourselves a Tyranitar from a specific Pokemon paper. So that's another Pokemon that we've added to our team that we need for a fusion. And we've also got our large XP candy. So let's go ahead, spam those into our Hydra guys, see if we can get them a couple of levels with those. So it's definitely worth completing these uncommon scrolls because they actually do seem to, I mean, they're really easy to do. And I got a decent amount of rewards from it. So, I mean, I'll take it. Guys, I've got some sad news. The server is resetting. Not great. I mean, look at how many fusion Pokemon we have right here. Oh, it's been a journey. It really has. And the fact that this is coming to an end is so, so sad. So, listen, there's only one thing left to do. And that, of course, is to finish this 500 days on a high. So we're going to try our best to catch every single last remaining fusion that we need. The fusions that we are missing are Rados, which is part of one that we're working on at the moment. So that one should be okay. Next, we've got Tyranitar, which again, we're working towards. So fingers crossed that will also be okay. We then have Lunala. Okay, so we need a Lunala and a Gengar. I wanted to say that I might already have a Lunala. Perfect. Okay, yeah, so we do actually have a Lunala. So if we look through, do we have a Gengar? We do not. Okay, so Gengar is one that we're going to have to look for. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's still perfect because we have that one too. We've got Xurkitree and Deoxys. Don't really have any of those, so we're going to leave that one for now. Okay, so for the next fusion that we need, obviously, we've got Moltres, which is a Galarian Moltres and an Umbreon. So if we just go through our PC here, do we have an Umbreon or a Galarian Moltres? No. Okay, we don't have either of those either, which is kind of sucks. And then also we have a Gyurem, which is Gyurem with Reshiram and Zekrom to make the original dragon. So yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of work on our hands. I think the most important part right now is that we continue making fusions for the Pokemon that we already have in our party. So I'm thinking that the easiest one to do right now, since we already have Lunala, we might as well go ahead and grab ourselves a Gengar so we can make Lunara. Okay, so apparently, I have actually been entered into the battle. I'm a bit confused. I thought that we weren't going to be able to get into the battle because we disconnected, but it means we must have got a free pass into the next round, which is actually kind of huge. So I guess let's just see what we could do against this Pokemon right here. So we got Chinchino first. I think our opponent is called Mr. Knight, I think was his name. So good luck to you, sir. Let's just see what we can do here.
Eventually.
Let's go. GG's to Mr. Knight 2 right there. Thank you very much for the good fight. Okay, right. We're into the next one now against a Milton F. So good luck, sir. We unfortunately take second place there. GG's to Milton F. Ah, such an L, man. Okay, well, we did get ourselves a rare key. So let's head over to the crates and see what we can get from our rare crate. There it is, this one over here. Go ahead and open up this one. Let's see what we end up getting. 2 pot balls and 8 rare candies. That is horrendous. Yeah, yay, woohoo. That is such a shame. Okay, so looks like we have some pretty good Ghastlies on the GTS at the moment as well. And we do have a lot of money too. Let's just see if there's any Pokeball on here that we can purchase that would help us when it comes to making the fusions, which unfortunately it doesn't look like there are. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is purchase myself a Ghastly. Perfect. There we go. What we're going to do is head over to the training area. Perfect. We'll slap on the EXP all, and we're going to do a little bit of training in here to hopefully get this Ghastly evolved up into a Gengar. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, so our Ghastly is now evolving into a Haunter, which is huge. Okay, perfect. So shout out to Act right here. This absolute legend. He has gone ahead and helped me evolve my Haunter by doing a trade. Really appreciate it, Act. If you see the video, shout out to you, my guy. I really, really appreciate you. And what we're going to do is create our 3rd fusion Pokemon of this 500 days. And while we're creating this fusion, I would also like to say, if you guys want to see me continue this series, but on the resetted Groudon server, make sure to let me know, and I will 100% hop back on and continue making the final fusions that I have not created yet. And look at that. Oh my gosh. I haven't actually seen this fusion yet, but oh my. This thing looks insane. Yo! The eyes on the wings. Oh, wow. Now, this is a very cool fusion. Let's go. Okay, so Toby Diaz has given me a challenge to complete within the 100 days, and that is to beat the trainer at the /Warp boss tower. There it is. Okay. Oh, I don't know how easy this thing's going to be to take on, though, so we're going to have to try our very hardest to complete that challenge. But I mean, for the time being, there's not really too much we can do in terms of this one because we need to get all our Pokemon to level 100. We also need to get a team of 4. We need to get a team of 6 fusion Pokemon. And I guess the easiest way for me to do that now is just going to be to fill up this orb so that I can get myself a Zapdos. So I think the best idea now is just to RTP out and just search around trying to find as many Pokemon as we possibly can. We're going to skip all the boring stuff and I will be back with you guys once we have completely filled up this orb and defeated 365 more Pokemon. So I've been grinding this orb for a little while. I mean, it's quite difficult to get so many kills, and I'll be honest, I keep distracting myself. And I've just had a player on the server named Sakuna who wanted to come over and say hello to the video. So shout out to you, my guy. We've got Big Shot Brush here. If you do watch the video, make sure to let me know in the comments saying that you were in the video, because I always love it when you guys let me know. If we do end up continuing the fusion series, I want to have a warp setup for myself so that you guys can head over to my warp area, build a little area next to me, and I want to kind of try and create a community with everyone. See if we can create like a massive town or some sort of village maybe would be really cool. And as always, make sure to let me know what your favorite fusion is as well. Wait, what was that? No. Wait. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. Yo! It was about to go out of my render distance as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. Okay, firework rockets. We need to get up here, boys. There it is. Oh my gosh. No way did we get a Rayquaza to spawn on us. Holy, and there we go. We have entered the battle with Rayquaza. Now that is insane. I don't know. I think that I'm still gliding right now with my Elytra, and it's glided me out of render distance. We can't even see anything right now, so I'm hoping we can just catch him. No issues there. Perfect. Okay, so we get a new... There we go. And I'm falling to my... Okay. Well, there we go. We have caught ourselves a Rayquaza. That is huge. Let's go. I did not expect a Rayquaza to spawn here. Like, we're how far in? 210 more KOs on the Orb of Static Souls. It's taken forever to complete this. And it's been several nights now. But, I mean, I will 100% take a Rayquaza. It's a nice little break as well from the Static Souls to... Let's head back home real quick. So we've got Rayquaza. Now we need to grab out Necrozma. And oh my gosh, I am excited for this one. Let's head over to Warp Fusions. We've made it to the fusion chamber. Let's go ahead and create a new fusion. Necrozma plus Rayquaza. Add in the fusion key. And you guys already know it. It's time to create a new fusion Pokemon. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my. What? Holy. Look at this. Yo. Oh my. That is insane looking. This hands down has to be one of the best fusion Pokemon that I have seen. I'm pretty sure it's a brand new one as well, so I'm sure a couple of you guys haven't actually seen this one yet, but this is my first time seeing it in game, and holy, does it look amazing. Let's go. And as some of you may have noticed, if you were paying attention while I was opening my inventory, I was gifted a rare lucky block from someone. I wasn't sure who, because when I went AFK, it was just in my inventory. So whoever gave me this rare lucky block, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, whoever it was. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, but I do really appreciate the rare lucky block. So in honor of getting a random rare lucky block from someone, let's go ahead and open it up with our Rayquaza out here. There we go. Let's place down the rare lucky block. And let's see what we get from it. So we're going to get a legendary Pokemon. I'm not really too sure when it comes to what Pokemon we're going to need. But for the most part, we could do with a Giratina. We could do with a Xurkitree or maybe even a Deoxys. Also, a Yveltal, another Rayquaza, another Yveltal. A Galarian Moltres would be amazing. And then also a Zekrom or a Reshiram are the ones we're looking for. So let's go ahead, opening up the rare lucky block in 3, 2, 1. Boom. No way. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It upgraded to an epic lucky block, which means we're gonna get a shiny legendary Pokemon. Oh my gosh. Whoever gave me this lucky block, I am so sorry, man, because you've just given me a shiny legendary Pokemon. Opening up in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yay. A shiny Cresselia. Woohoo. Well, I mean, with that absolute bombshell right there, I think it is time that we finish off our Orb of Static Souls. We have 210 more KOs to get, and then we will get ourselves a Zapdos. And finally, just like that, we have built up the Orb of Static Souls. Now it is time to head over to Warp Shrines. Like, we already have the Park Ball that we got from our key that we got from the tournament. So let's go ahead and summon Zapdos. Thank you very much. I mean, it's actually quite nice because it actually matches yellow and yellow with the Zapdos. So you know what? I'll take it. There we go. We've caught the legendary Zapdos just like that. I mean, without any further ado, let's quickly head straight over to the fusion machine and let's create our 5th fusion Pokemon. Come on. Okay, let's add in the Zapdos, add in the Raikou. Merry Christmas, Raikou. I'm so sorry. You were here since day 1 and now you're gone. And I need a fusion key. Okay. And we're back with a fusion key now. Perfect. Let's go ahead and create Rados with Raikou and Zapdos. Here we go. Come on, Rados. Boom. Look at that beast. Honestly, such a clean fusion. I'm so happy with this one. Let's throw him out. Yo, look at this. Oh, that is a very cool looking Pokemon right there. I have to say, I am very happy with this guy. We're making good progress, guys, when it comes to the fusion Pokemon. Finally, we only have left Granitar, Xerxes, Absoltal, Rayveltal, and Moltrion and Gyurem.
So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get all of them in this 100 days, but we're going to try our best to get as many as possible. At least maybe one more would be great, so then we can take on that Cyro trainer like Toby told us to do earlier. I've just got to figure out which one's going to be the easiest to get hold of. It's either we go with Tyranitar and Giratina, but that means we need to get a Giratina, which isn't going to be too easy. Either we can make a Xurkitree and a Deoxys. We don't have either of those, so it's probably not a good idea to try and go for one of those. Next, we have Absol and Yveltal. I mean, it would be easy to get an Absol. Not sure about the Yveltal, though. We've got Rayquaza Yveltal. Not even going to try. Moltres and Umbreon. That one there is a big possibility. I don't know how hard it's going to be to get hold of a Galarian Moltres, but we can get ourselves an Umbreon. And so I think best plan of action here is probably going to be to head into the Warzone. Now, this season's Warzone, if you've been tuning into the live streams, is monotype national dex. So we're gonna have to catch ourselves a team of Pokemon that we can use that all have the same typing. Now, I don't know who I want to bring in really, but if we look through our team currently, we have a bunch of Pokemon that we could use. So I think I'm going to see if I can whip up a team, and then we shall be back and head into the Warzone. We've managed to get almost a full team of Water-type starter Pokemon. So I'm going to head over to the training area, and we're going to grind up these guys and get them all to level 100 so that we can take them into the Warzone. And we are back, and we have completely made our team level 100 with a bunch of custom moves. So I am hoping now that we will have a decent chance when it comes to the Warzone. Not really expecting to get much out of it. I'm just kind of hoping that we don't get absolutely destroyed straight away. Okay, here we go. Let's head into the Warzone. We're going to give ourselves a bunch of time. We'll get the max amount of time that we can possibly go, which is 600 seconds. And we will enter into the Warzone. Here we go. Okay, we've made it into the Warzone. Now, we are looking for a few Pokemon in particular. It's still a bit of fun coming here. If we lose something, it isn't that big of an issue because, of course, the server is resetting soon, which is so sad. I'm actually devastated. This series has gone on for so long, and it's finally all coming to an end. So I guess I will be back if I find anything good. If not, I will be back with you guys when something interesting happens. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not any of the Pokemon that we need, but a Terrakion has just spawned on me. So, I mean, I guess I'll take it. Like, yay, a Terrakion. I mean, a legend is a legend at the end of the day. It's just a real shame that it's not a good one, really. Because, like, who really wants a Terrakion? Because I definitely don't. Oh, and we defeated the Terrakion. Well, Terrakion. Well, I guess rip Terrakion. It's fine. I couldn't even have used it anyway, so it is what it is. Any Terrakion lovers, if there are any, I am so sorry. I did not mean to kill. And I'm stuck in a hole. No! 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 Can I get out of the hole? Please? I'm actually stuck. I'm actually stuck in a hole. No! Well, I guess I'm going to leave the Warzone and then head back in. There we go. Cool. We did not, unfortunately, find anything that we needed, but we did obviously find a Terrakion, which has now been murdered. Oh, okay. So I've just gone onto the GTS, and it looks like there is a Giratina for sale for 80,000 Pokédollars. So let's go ahead and buy that Giratina right there. Perfect. Now we're going to head back into the base. Let's put away our silly monotype water team. There we go. Now let's go ahead and figure out where our Giratina is. There he is. Oh my gosh. Okay. You guys already know what this means. We can get ourselves another fusion Pokemon in Giratina. Let's go ahead and grab out our Giratina and our Tyranitar. There we go. And we have made it to the Warp Fusion area. So let's head into the Fusion Machine and create another Fusion Pokemon. There we go. Tyranitar plus Giratina. Put in the Fusion Key. Let's create Giratina. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Come on. Hey, look at that beast. Oh my gosh, I can't lie. I'm just excited that we got another fusion Pokemon to tick off the list.
because we are getting so close to getting every fusion Pokemon on the SMASHMC server, which would be insane. Look at how cool this guy looks. Very, very exciting. That is our sick fusion for 500 days in Fusion Pixelmon. The only fusions that we need now is Xerxes, which is Deoxys and Xurkitree, Absoltal, which is Yveltal and Absol, Rayveltal, which is Rayquaza and Yveltal, Moltres, which is Galarian, Moltres, and Umbreon, and Gyurem, which is Kyurem White plus Zekrom, I think. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get those, but we have achieved one of our goals, which is to get 6 fusion Pokemon within this 100-day period. Now, we do have a full team of fusion Pokemon, so why not go ahead and get them all leveled up? Okay, there we go. So this is what I've managed to find throughout all of our chests from the previous 500 days. So let's just go ahead and start leveling up. So we're going to spam all of the baby candies in real quick just to use those ones up. And there we go. Now the small candies. We've got extra large candies. We have large candies too. So let's get all of these spammed in. There we go. Let's go ahead and do Hydrogeist next. There we go. Get you leveled up. Next up, I guess we're going to go for Granitar. Next, I guess we're going to go ahead and do Rados. Next up, we have our Lunara. I'm wondering if we have enough rare candies here to get all of our Pokemon up to level 100. I think we're going to get very, very close, which is amazing. And finally, we have Laprera, one of the OG fusion Pokemon. Let me know in the comments if you remember Laprera from the very beginning of the SMASHMC fusion Pokemon. This guy right here is an OG. Okay, that is all of our XP candies and all of our XP stuff used up into our Pokemon. We got everyone to level 100 other than Laprera, so we're going to head over to the warp training area and get those final levels. Oh, and just like that, I've come over to the training area and it popped up in chat saying that I needed to claim my Dex rewards for 20% of the Pokédex, and of course I get given 16 rare candies. So let's go ahead and put those into Laprera real quick, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be literally one level away from being level 100. So I guess we can head over to the level grinder, which we're already at, and get that final level. Yep, level 99 off of all our rare candies. Let's go in here. Let's go and fight you. And there we go. Finally, we have made it to level 100. There we go, guys. We have a full team of level 100 Pokemon. Okay, so another person that I wanted to take on during this 500 days is the legendary Cyru trainer that you guys can all take on to on the SMASHMC server. Now, this guy is located at the top of the boss tower, and I figured, hey, why not? Let's just give it a go and see how we fare against him. So it looks like we're starting out with a Spiritomb, which is fine for me because I can just spam Dragon Dance. There we go. Let's go ahead and go for a... let's go for the Night Slash real quick. There we go. And we get destroyed by a Pursuit. No, bruh. Okay, let's go for Moonblast. He has a Sucker Punch, instantly destroyed. Ah, okay. Okay. No, I see you, Spiritomb. I see you. We're getting destroyed. Spiritomb, man, do you want to, like, chill out? Jeez. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. We take down the first Pokemon, and of course comes out Growlithe. I mean, why wouldn't it be Growlithe, you know? Like, okay, we got destroyed. Cool. And I'm pretty sure we cannot battle him for an entire actual real life day, which means that we have a limited chances to try and beat this guy. Let's check it out. Yep, so it can only be battled once a day. Let's just go ahead and try our best to get all of these Pokemon perfectly trained for the Cyrude fight. Okay, what I'm slowly realizing is this entire team, we've got Psychic, weak to dark, Ghost, weak to dark, Quad, weak to dark. So we may need to change up our team a little bit. And I'm thinking maybe if it's cool with you guys, what I was thinking about doing is not using the Pokemon that we've just made into fusions, but since this is going to be the final fusion video, I figured maybe we could make the ultimate team of all of our Pokemon fusions that we've previously used in every single 100-day so far. Now, I don't know which Pokemon are going to be best to use, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time researching and figuring out the best team possible to use against the Cyrude trainer, and then we will be back, and hopefully over the next couple days we can take down Cyrude and end this 100 days on a high. Okay, so we have ended up with a team of 6 fusions right here. So I went with Zacius,
for that strong fairy type. I went for a Lucas. I've got myself a Dragon Ninja. I've got Gardencry, Swamp Ogre, and also Gracias. Now, I'm hoping that this team will be able to do a dent against the Cyru Trainer. So let's head on over and see what we can do. Okay, so we are into the boss tower. Let's head up to the top. All right, so here is the Cyru Trainer. It is time to take him on. We have got ourselves a Zacius with adaptability and with Play Rough. And that is going to be my plan when it comes to the Spiritomb to start with. Then we've got the rest of the guys that we're going to go with afterwards. But for now, let's go ahead and take on the Cyru Trainer. Okay, so Play Rough is going to be our play. We missed the Play Rough. No. Oh, that's so unfortunate. And we get crit. No way. Oh, man. That's so unfortunate. Oh, I can't believe it. Okay, well, we take out the Spiritomb. That is such an L, man. Oh, I can't believe it. Okay, let's go for the Moonblast again. We get smacked by Bullet Punch on a Mega Lucario. Not ideal. Okay, let's go into Lucas here. Hopefully we can do some good damage. I'm thinking we go for the Wings of Justice. We get... It's not even very effective, and we still get one tap by close combat. I don't understand. I don't. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, Dragon Ninja, I guess. This team is just insane. I don't understand. Okay, we're gonna go for... let's go for the Hydro Pump, I guess. And he's still outspeeds. What is going on, man? Holy. What is going on, bro? What? Like, I don't understand how we're going to take this guy out. This is insane. Cyru Trainer is actually so OP. The only thing I can think of, though, that we can do other than that is we do need to decide what Pokemon we're going to take to the next server. So, of course, you can go into the Poke Bank, and what you can do is you can drop in one of your Pokemon that you can take to the next server. So, of course, I really want to do this, but I don't know who we want to take through. Because obviously we can take through, like, Lucas maybe, because he was one of our first, you know, he was iconic. We've also got, obviously, Dragon Ninja, who's one of the strongest fusion Pokemon as well. I think that I want to take through Lucas, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, well, I guess while we're going to wait for the Cyru Trainer to come off of his cooldown, which is obviously an entire day, which really does suck, I guess we will head off and decide which Pokemon we want to keep. And in order to do that, I'm going to make a short video real quick. Hopefully, you guys will see it and let me know which Pokemon you want me to keep. So, luckily, with the server resetting, loads of people are getting rid of a bunch of their Pokemon. Now, luckily, I'm Cable is trying to make a fusion Pokemon, so he needs a Tapu Koko. So, we're going to go ahead and trade the Tapu Koko for the Galarian Moltres. There we go. Amazing. Thank you so much, I'm Cable. Shout out to you, my guy. I appreciate it. Now we have this amazing, but for the sake of the series, I want to create one more fusion Pokemon. So let's go ahead and head back to the home. And we need to see if we have ourselves... do we have an Umbreon anywhere? I don't know if we actually have one, so we may have to go out and grab one. Okay, so it looks like Totodile is just giving out a bunch of legends on the server. As it's resetting, everyone is going to lose everything, so they're just giving stuff away. So I thought, in the theme of giving stuff away, I'm going to give this guy right here a legendary IV boost, because he is a subscriber. So there you go, Big Shot Brush. Enjoy that one right there, sir. Hey, there we go. Well, shout out to you, Big Shot Brush. I hope you enjoy the legendary IV boost. Get some strong Pokemon ready for the reset. Well, I want to continue changing some of my Pokemon. So we have a bunch of stuff in our chests, like legendary resizes. We have a bunch of legendary shiny converts as well. So I'm just going to use all of those right now to make a bunch of our fusion Pokemon into shinies. First of all, let's do a Dragon Ninja. Let's legendary shiny convert. Boom. We have a shiny Dragon Ninja. Let's go. And finally, we're going to keep our final legendary shiny convert for whichever Pokemon we end up taking across. Now, it could be a Pokemon that's already shiny, and if it is, we'll just throw it on a random Pokemon. But for now, we're going to keep hold of this one right here, just in case. Okay, so in order to fuse the Moltres, of course, we are going to need to get ourselves a Pokemon under the name of Umbreon. So if we go onto here, we're going to right click with this. So /reward claim. And we're going to get ourselves an Umbreon. Boom. There we go. And then if we head over to the fusions, and here we go. Let's go ahead and create Moltres. Oh, I am so hyped for this one. Here we go. We've got our really cool looking Galarian Moltres. I'm sorry, man. And the Umbreon that we just got. And let's fuse them together to create Moltres. Look at that. One of my favorite fusions. I'm so hyped for this guy. Holy, look at you. That is amazing. And of course, it ticks off another fusion for this 100 days. What I've managed to do is I've rounded up all of the server's final lucky blocks that a bunch of people on the server had. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a bunch of lucky blocks to end off the series. Now, I'm hoping that after doing this, we can just head straight back to Cyrud and try and take him on. But for the time being, let's go ahead and open up a bunch of lucky blocks. Let's place down 4 in a row. Boom, 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 and boom. Okay, so we did get one upgrade, but the rest are kind of stinky. So let's go ahead and open up a couple more. Here we go. Another upgrade. Let's go. Go, go, go. Okay, not too bad. We've got 12 uncommon lucky blocks. Let's go ahead. Open up all of them. Let's go. And we got ourselves an upgrade. Come on. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Another upgrade. And there we go. A bunch of shiny Pokemon right here. And 6 rare lucky blocks. That is huge. Now, are there any Pokemon here that we actually want? Okay, so nothing that we need right there. Let's go ahead and open up our final 6 rare lucky blocks. Okay, number 1, let's go. Ooh, okay. A Zapdos. We will take that. There we go. Let's open up number 2. We get ourselves a Meloetta. Okay. Number 3, a Regigigas. Okay. Number 4, Terrakion. Number 5, a Spectria. And finally, an Uxie. Ah, that is a bunch of stinkers, I cannot lie. No, and we can't even use any of those for more fusions. But, I mean, we still had a bunch of fun opening lucky blocks. I do love opening them so much. But with that, I guess we're going to take our team that we have got, and we're going to try and take on Cyrud for the final time. And hopefully, we can take him down. So we only have one last try at the Cyrud trainer. And I don't know if we're going to be able to defeat him, but we're going to try our best. And hopefully we can end this 100 days with a bang. So, because we haven't got a lot of time left, I just wanted to take a minute to go through all of our Pokemon that we have collected throughout this 500 days. Now, of course, we have all of our Pokemon in here. We had our original Warzone team. Oh, this was a great team. The team that we took in, and we were scared of everyone, and we did not want to fight a single trainer. Oh, what a great time. We know we had our Raikou, we had Tornadus, our Thunderous, you know, all of our other legends that we managed to catch in the Warzone, and all the Pokemon that we were gifted to. All of our shiny Pokemon. We had all of our Warzone Pokemon that we caught in the Warzone. You know, we had our amazing Warzone team that we made completely competitive, which didn't really much get used, but that's because I was so scared of the Warzone. We had, of course, our most recent water team for the Warzone with the new monotyping. You know, we've gone through so many Warzone series on this server. It's been absolutely crazy and been such a blast. You know, then we come on to one of the ultimate boxes. Of course, we have our fusion Pokemon. We had our very first team up the top here, Sacredments. I think it was our very first fusion Pokemon because we got a Ho-Oh from a Lucky Block, I want to say. You know, we've got our shiny Blastoga. We've got Marshmetal, Absoldio, Lucatrez was part of that team as well. So many amazing memories throughout all these fusions. So many just amazing fusions. Like, I'm actually so sad that this is finally coming to an end. I never thought this series would end, you know. I genuinely thought that they'd keep adding more fusions constantly, and I'd constantly be redoing the series over and over and over again. But the time has finally come, and I didn't even think about the server being reset, which is such a shame. And of course, we now have our newest team in Zacius, Lucatrez, Dragon Ninja, Gardevoir, Swampogre, and of course, Gracias. What a time we've had on this 500 days. Like, it's been such a journey, and I'm glad that I had you guys to go through it with me, because I want to do this again because it was so much fun. I can't wait to start another series with you guys on 100 days. Maybe this time we can go for an 1,000-day series. I don't know what we were going to do, but make sure to let me know down in the comment section what you guys want to see for the next 100-day series, and I'm sure we can make it happen. Now, for one final time, if you guys enjoyed the Fusion series, let me know in the comments, like the video, go show support to all of the different videos that I have made on Fusions, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Now, let's head into our final battle. Okay. It is time to try and take on the Cyrud trainer for the final time. We have one more chance to defeat Cyrud and become the ultimate Fusion champion. Can we do it? Well, let's find out. Okay, Spiritomb is to start us. Let's go for King Fairy's Cry. Big damage. Okay, perfect. We take him down. That's amazing. Gastrodon comes out next. We're going to go for the Horn Leech. Oh, we almost destroy it. Okay. That is insane. Horn Leech again. We take it down. Let's go. Come on. We're going to go into Spectralure here. And we're going to go for... Let's go for the Flamethrower. Hopefully we can take it down. There we go. We take down the Mega Lucario. Can we take down the Roserade? Okay, big damage though. That's completely fine. I think let's go into Lucatres here. We're going to go for Wings of Justice. And we take down a Roserade. Come on. Next up is, of course, a Growlchomp. Now, this one's going to be a little bit more difficult. We're going to go for the Power-Up Punch. Okay. Not good damage. I think next, what we're going to do is go into Dragon Ninja. And we're going to go for the Draconic Kakunai. Come on. Big damage. Oh, okay. Yes, okay. And we survive with the Focus Sash. Draconic Kunai takes it down. Come on. We're so close. Draconic Kunai. Come on. Big damage. Oh, it does nothing. No. Okay. We've got a pure water type here. So we need to go for something good. I don't think we have a lot, though, unfortunately. Let's go for the Hyper Voice. Come on. We do hardly anything. Descent from Grace, maybe? Okay, big damage. That's huge. Come on, Gracias. So close. Oh, no. Will Gardevoir be able to clutch? I'm going to go for the Moonblast. And we take it down. There we go. We defeated the legendary Cyrud trainer for the final time on this 500 days. Thank you all so much for the journey throughout the entire 500 days. It's been an absolute blast. And I'm so sad to see this come to an end, but I'm so glad that I could experience it with you guys. See ya. Subscribe for more Fusions. Woo.